car whose strengths call to mind the things that it's not, a Honda Civic is a good car in my mind.
All right, so
you got a Honda Civic for half the price.
we are live. Let me set up the spare computer so I can watch.
But anyway, I want to do a podcast of just Space Cruiser van talk.
Are we doing that
Duncan,
today?
Well, I don't know. Duncan calls me randomly sometimes. That's the guy I bought the van from, and he's one of the few dudes I've run into who is as enthusiastic about the Toyota Space Cruiser as I am, and I feel like I could talk to him about Space Cruiser vans for hours, and it would just be wasted. I want to get it recorded so other enthusiasts for this vehicle, which is a enthusiast-owned vehicle at this point, can tune in. You get what I'm laying.
Yeah, I get what you're doing.
Yeah,
for everybody in the stream, we will not be talking about cars this whole time because
no, not the whole time. I just
he's on a roll. Let Brony Inspector have his moment.
We were about to start streaming about whatever, but then the guy who I bought my Space Cruiser van from randomly called me to find out where to get a smog cert. And I recommended Smog Express on Folsom Boulevard, right across from Cordy Brothers Market. Yeah.
Indeed.
Which, if you ever want, good. I've hinged. I've got a hinge here. If you want to know what a fucking grocery store from when I was a kid looked like, just go to Cordy Brothers.
Here, 1 second. I forgot what the fuck I was doing on this side computer. Oh yeah, dashboard, derp. Lost all time. I started listening to fucking Brony Inspector, and it took every brain cell I had to try and grasp.
About Space Cruiser vans.
Oh, all right, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna try and remember the car. Oh fuck, I've suddenly whipped myself and forgot what the fuck he was talking about. It took all my brain power just to keep up with him.
You were riding in the van. You were like, "Wow, if my Uber came in one of these, I would just be that would be amazing."
So, speaking of using all my brain cells and powers, just all of them, guys. There's a very special person in Limbo that I have just the utmost love and respect for. I think he bit into I don't know. What would you say was his problem the other day, Brony Inspector?
He's having an early life crisis.
Was that Havana syndrome that came out of
No, that wasn't Havana syndrome. That was a young man having an early life crisis.
Oh, goddamn. No, I've been running into a lot of people who are saying some really dumb shit, not dangerously dumb as in this is a pedophile or anything like this, but things that make you go,
No, he might have Stockholm syndrome. I don't know about Havana syndrome.
Okay. Well, don't have the DSM-5 handy. Not at all.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Havana syndrome is not in the DSM-5. That's a made-up fake thing to discredit people who are being targeted. No, this was the thing. Dude, he was getting in Twitter fights with people in my friend group. I'm like, wow, he actually took this far enough out into the orbit for Fire King and Big Willie to be like, what's with this fucking faggot?
So
I'm like,
I want to respond. Somebody said, who is even Jess Aguilar? So anyways, a lifetime ago when my sister came out, she had a conjoined twin that we were able to actually get enough of the body cut off and hide them in the sidewall there. That's who Jess Aguilar is. It's my evil sister's fucking twin that's still we keep in the walls. That's my theory. Yeah.
Nice, like Tito DeVito. Danny DeVito's little direct, whenever Danny DeVito says he directed a movie, it was actually Tito, the conjoined twin, who did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
No. Wait, not today, Buttons. That was another thing, but I won't go into that. So before I even get to any of the dumb shit that we're going to talk about today, which maybe I'm putting off, maybe I'll change the title of the fucking pod later on. Farlato, in his infinite wisdom, wanted to disagree with the common notion that that we should shun pedophiles, that the ones who had done their time should be just forgive and forget. And no.
On top of that, we should be paying for their therapy.
No, no, we should not. No.
Yeah.
Look, if
we can right
someone
now?
if someone goes out and starts to hurt themselves, like, and they're clearly something wrong. I have Obamacare. Fuck it, it's worked for me. It saved me a lot of money. Last time I went into the hospital, I didn't have to pay for a goddamn thing. When they tried to send me a bill, I called up and they're like, "No, don't pay it." I was like, "Okay, good."
Well, and that's the thing. Like, and I was like, no one's gonna tell.
Bye,
Like,
Stefan.
I'm one of those people who is stubborn and pays out of pocket for health care.
Yeah.
And I get peasant. I have the California peasant insurance, they call it.
Yes, yes, spoken. Oddly enough, I you know what, I will fucking goddamn play off just this little thing from DMs for spoken, because one of my crazy fans called you out, so we're gonna split over to this really quick. This is from Alex Maxwell, for any of you guys who remember that crazy Dr. Wolf fan, and that's how I'm gonna remember him.
Oh, right. I was trying to remember where.
Oh yeah,
I
and you know what I thought? I
from.
thought Alex Maxwell. Let's scroll back where old Alex stopped.
I could read it off for you if you want.
No, we'll get there. I just want to see Alex. I thought he had learned. It was all the way back in April 30th where he had blocked me, and I was like, I do believe I finally missed the lad. So when he came back, that's why we're actually talking about our sweet beloved Alex. If it'll fucking open up now. Oh, you could do this to me? You could do me rotten
right,
like this?
Alex, make me deconstruct every joke I've ever told Maxwell. Yeah, I remember this guy.
Oh, here we go. I hope you're proud of yourself. Thanks to your toxic behavior, we've got a winner already. You have made someone who I thought of as one of the only friends I have here into another of your hate-filled minions. I still remember when
Do I
Keyblade...
count as a hate-filled minion?
I remember when fucking Keyblade said that we turned fucking Spirited Rainbow into a monster. Unironically.
Who is he even referring to? Who did you turn into a minion?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Well, maybe we should recruit this hate-filled minions.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Let's find out.
You know what? That should be the new start of the podcast. Minions.
Hate-filled minions.
Hate-filled
Illumination.
minions. You and that bitch. Wait, that needs a little bit more.
You and that
bitch, spoken mind, have ruined my life for the last time. Now I want nothing more than to strike you down from your high horse. Oh, this sounds familiar.
On the high horse.
Tear off your mask, expose you as a complete bastard that you are. Well, if you want to rip me off my horse, first you're gonna have to rip out all your teeth there. Then you're gonna have to try out for like the police force after like putting in 3 good years. Because that's what high horse dethroning generally takes, from what I understand.
There were prerequisites, yeah.
Whatever happened to that mask you had? That the one with the zipper.
Oh, that one?
The fetish mask, yeah.
Well, it's fucking Tokyo Ghoul, but if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks like a fetish
like,
mask.
I remember.
Let's talk about the
masks
we wear.
No, here's the funny thing about
so
that.
This guy Stanley. It starts way back.
I swear to God, I'm gonna forget this point. I'm trying to put. I'm trying to put over somebody I don't. Okay, fine. Wow, Brony Inspector. Oh my fucking.
So they throw this mask into the ocean.
All right, fuck it. I was gonna say something nice about Mint Heart, but he stopped.
He's just kind of like this regular dude. He works at a bank, and like he hates his job, and like he can't get any ladies, and like his coworker's a total dick. He's like, hey Stanley, let's get laid, but like I'm just a regular guy. I don't know how to get laid.
I've never had that happen in the history, so I'm just gonna forget about my point ahead.
Recap the past.
All right, we're off to a good start in the stream already.
He sings Cuba Pete, but that's not till later.
Okay, wow. So let's get back to our boy Alex Maxwell. That photo was taken when I was 18. Do you even care? You treat me and my attempt to apologize to you, to my stupidity, like they are a joke. I want to forget this and move on. But you in spoken mind want to keep humiliating me for your amusement. Oh, son of a bitch, guys. You know what? Me and Spoken were this close to getting away with it. We were. God, yeah. Spoken, they're gonna know. I tried with all my might.
No. This dude knew we were fucking laughing at him the whole time now.
Yeah, you know, after the
he's onto us.
Yeah, after every podcast, Spoken Mind comes in my room and we rub our hands together. Oh, we're gonna get that, Alex. We're gonna fuck
Spoken
that guy.
Mind is that much of a genius.
No, but all right. So even like, all right, let's say that's not the worst case scenario. Like, if the truth of the matter is that like every time Alex got brought up, he got made fun of. Like, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, finally, you're starting to get it there, kid. Oh, wow.
Okay, so I am not a white knight for wolf. I am not some random troll. I am a 32-year-old man trying to explain myself to someone that clearly doesn't want to hear anything I have to say. You think I'm a cuck? Look in the mirror for once and tell me what you see. That's when he originally blocked me.
Call that cucking?
Here's what he should have said. Here's the honest way to say this.
here-
I am a 32-year-old man trying to apologize to some 40-year-old man on the internet.
Oh, fantastic. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, no,
You have to understand
actually,
that's from a 15-year-old who has it all figured out. But
right.
you know, little does Step know. Little does Step know. No.
Step, can I do the third version
No.
of that?
Let me,
I'm a 32-year-old man trying to apologize to a 40-year-old man that's going to be and then a 15-year-old is going to try to explain this to everyone. Like,
okay, here's Buttons' super chat. He told people that I am a minor and tried to paint you as a pedo. Then I bitch slapped him in DMs and begged for forgiveness. It's possible. I generally find Alex till like recently so fucking forgettable, but things have slowed down so much, Alex. They've slowed down enough where I am now willing to talk about you. Anyways.
No, like, you know what? And that got us off. Honestly, like, Alex, you got us off the other thing, and we actually kind of like the other guy that we were going to talk about, so.
Yeah.
Good on you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So, anyways, his other remark here. You soulless, gutless bastard. Where do you get off humiliating me? I wanted to apologize, but you treated it like a joke. This is the last straw. You will never forget the name Aria Dime. Sorry, I'll stop. I will never forgive you for that soulless Harvey's.
Yeah. No, you're good.
That soulless Harvey's spoken mind. Oh, you know, I am Skeletor, and spoken mind is evil in. You have totally figured it out. My
Dude,
God.
you are, you are King of Forrester, and she is TV's son of TV's Frank.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the last.
You just have a regular guy captive up there. You're subjecting him to evil experiments.
You know what? Alex, if you ever do a rant podcast, you should call it The Last Straw.
Do it.
Yes. I will never forgive you or that soulless harpy spoken.
What would his podcast be? 5 minutes of him not talking?
I guess.
That's all he was.
You want me at
all
my
he did
worst.
When he had him on.
You got it, you fucking prick. Oh, sweet nothings in my ear, Alex. Okay, I think I've already got this one.
Is this guy Canadian?
Maybe.
No, no, this is not how a Canadian would act.
No, he's more of a pussy than a Canadian. You're
Yeah,
right.
this is a Californian if I've ever seen
North
one.
Californian.
Yeah, NorCal, NorCal, bitch.
Wait, here's another one. Anyways, let's see. What's this? What are we whining about exactly? There's this guy who's been like sending me messages forever, and he originally he fucked off, and I just feel like reading these off because this has gone on for like ever. Alex.
What's his name?
Alex Maxwell.
Oh no, still Alex. Okay, still Alex.
Yes.
Alex has still been messaging you this whole time.
Well, he stopped. And he just picked
Anthony,
up
that's so fun that you've just been like having this happen and kind of just ignoring it. Like that is just the funnest.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. You just like keep it on the back
clog
burner.
up my DeviantArt notifications, why don't you?
So anyways, congratulations, you have broken me. I am now the most hated person here. But he says this in like the most recent one too. There's nothing I can do to fix it. Alex, I don't even talk about you till now. This is like I mentioned you that one time where I was super cool in chat with you, where I was like just like, you know, BSing back and forth. If that broke you, I don't know what the fuck. You must be made of a special space-age polymer.
Here's the
Space
best way.
age polymer. That sounds strong.
Okay,
That
fine,
sounds like he's made of the same shit they made the cathedral at Notre Dame out of.
Okay, well, that was you. You ignored me for
The
last
thoughts
time.
and opinions of whichever channel we're on do not necessarily reflect those of Brony Inspector and his critique of construction materials choices.
Okay, so anyways, let's get back to this. I could do nothing now except wait for the tidal wave of hate to come and consume me. Alex, now that I'm actually talking about you, I bet like 5-10 people, if that, show up. The height of my fame has. Oh, this one looks juicy. Oh, he did the thank you, fuck you, bye. I love when
this Catholic's building burned down. Oh,
yes.
Oh no.
I do.
Such a
I love.
dead fucking meme.
Anyways, you know, for someone who promised that I'm in for a bad day. I do admit, Alex, I did forgot. I was going to cover you, then I forgot about it because I don't know. Maybe there was my toe tingled that day. Maybe Step sneezed and we had to talk about it for a half hour. Like literally anything else in my life came up. I don't know. Let's get back to it.
Needed an oil change.
Yeah, you're kind of crappy.
Had to go to Best Buy.
Yeah, you're kind. Oh yeah, I probably have. You're kind of crappy with the follow through. What happened? Did another pedophile show up? Did you wanted to expose him because you're following to throw out accusations at anyone they, i.e., you don't like? I don't go after people and call them pedophiles just because I don't like them.
Yeah, that's not been.
I hate Arya Diamond. Have I called Arya Diamond a pedophile?
No.
Have I?
No.
No. There you go.
And right, and like, Pan, that would be a stretch, even if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't...
and some people that are easy to hate make it easy to get called pedophiles, and you don't even do that.
Yeah. I hate Twist of Fate. I haven't called him a pedophile.
Unironic.
No. I said that he ditched his girlfriend to hang out with a pedophile. Big difference. I didn't call him specifically. There's a big difference. Okay, maybe not a big difference, but there's a sizable legal.
No, that's different. That's not the same thing. No, let's apply logic. Consistently speaking, those are two different things.
There's
exclusion.
There's two kinds of people that.
Well, technically.
Yeah, there's two different. There are two kinds of people that you as a woman or a man shouldn't sleep with. But anyways, let's get back to this. Did the parents of your high school?
I am clenching my fist right now.
Why? What's wrong?
As a woman or a man, there are two. Like, who shouldn't someone sleep with? Minors? That's it, right?
Well, no. I was suggesting that you shouldn't sleep with people that ditch their girlfriend to go hang out with a pedophile. I'm just saying it's like a bad idea in my.
No, like maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'll admit it. My wording is shit. Maybe you didn't. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I thought I was doing you a solid, and he's like, "Oh, Brony Inspector's about to admit some bad choices in his life." I don't know. So
no, I would. Probably. I wouldn't have the opportunity to make those choices.
Yeah, I don't know. Brony Inspector's a pretty charming guy. Then again, I said that about Farleto about a week ago, and here we are. But anyways, I said the same thing about Panzer about a week or two ago. Here we are.
Oh God,
charming guy.
We'll get to
we'll buried in a docky pile underneath.
I've thought about. Yeah. Good evening, Leo. We'll get to Panzer, even though I originally said I wasn't going to. I've thought about that, and I was like, you know what, Panzer was a friend, meaning I have a duty and responsibility to talk about Panzer. I really do. I
don't see any reason not to go over that. I mean, that was a thing that happened, right?
Now that I've had a full night's sleep, I'm going to blumble through that unscripted, because why the fuck not? Let's get back to idiot here. For someone who would go to any lengths to silence his dissenters. I'm reading you off! You'll all talk and no bite. I'm starting to get bored. This has gone on forever.
You keep responding.
That should say something. I've thrown enough bane at you to get other people to call you out for your BS. But in each of your fucking texts here, you keep saying shit like, oh, you've turned everyone against me. Make up your mind. You now realize you can't say whatever you want without someone finding the holes in your logic and using it against you. Your friends cannot protect you from the consequences. Oh, my actions have consequences. Your overinflated ego.
What?
Your overinflated ego has caused you to have no one but yourself to blame. Oh, sir.
Dude, Anthony, you know what one thing I would say about you that I would think that, like, everyone accuses you of having a huge ego.
That's my next time out to Brony. I think it's something, I forgot exactly what it's worded. It's basically fucking who's better than me or some shit like that. I forgot, but it's basically
like, you do not walk into a room acting like you're better than other people. I have never seen you do that.
I could address that. I thought about that long and hard and where that came from. I think it came from the PFC because back then I was better than everybody in that room.
Right, but yeah, but I've been in the room. But that's the thing. I've been in an actual room with you and guys from the PFC, and you don't do that. You act like a normal dude.
Yeah, well, there was a big difference. Like, remember in the party whenever...
Dude,
no, hold it.
Yeah,
Let me give you a concept here. Remember when they were all in front of the TV chanting horse dick, horse pussy? That was
Yeah.
the PFC 24/7, and in that world where that was constant, I acted like I was better than everyone.
Not in 2070. You didn't.
Well, 2070, where?
At the party. That's the room number.
Oh, I was just thinking 2070. Are we talking about my graphics card that isn't working?
Yeah, no, that's the. It's also that would become the graphics card all the gamers would want too.
Yes.
No, I was hosting parties in that room long before that was a graphics. God,
Yeah, I just showed up. I told everybody who asked, I'm here to drink and eat. Is that a problem? They're like, nope. I'm like, okay, have fun.
No, dude, like, and I hope you had fun.
Let's get back to this.
Like everyone's just a super normal dude in person.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that this guy doesn't get, that like people who would seem like sworn enemies in all this internet stuff, like when they're actually all in one room, they just act like normal fucking adult dudes who don't want to like.
Oh, wait. Here's buttons. $5.
Yeah.
By the way, save your money buttons. So I got.
Who know that the
Super
drama
Chat.
is
Super Chats
content
over Trump everything. So
not for ruining
The
anyone's
fitness
weekend.
gram pacer test is a
So I got him
multi-stage
on
aerobic
Discord
attack.
and I made a group chat with you. If you want to go hog wild on him, is he around? Buttons? You know what? Fucking.
No, let's go. No, I want to go.
Oh,
This
we're
is
gonna do
great.
this now?
Man.
I wanted to read
Yeah,
off.
let's do it. No, Buttons fucking did the legwork to
All right,
get him nailed down in a Discord room. Let's go.
Let me do one more reading. So I just want to fucking get myself in the right headspace. This one's from April 11th. You know, I have tried everything within my power to make you pay for the humiliation of me on Skype. Who are you? You treated me and everything I said as jokes. For your amusement, you recorded my attempt to extract an apology from you, and you used it to make me sound like another internet troll. No, you were giving yourself way too much credit.
Yeah, you did that on your own, bro.
I tried to turn everyone you know against you, but you and your friends squashed it before I took hold. Notice he changes his tune. I'm reading these dyslexically backwards. Hell, I even tried to get to let go of my animosity toward you. I mean, only you can do that. But no matter what I have tried, you and everything you do still pisses me off. Thank you. I've had enough of this. It's a hard time. It's a high time somebody that you... Oh, that's the name of your pod.
I'll show you a high time.
Yes, it's high time somebody that has manipulated into shame and complicitly called you out. Oh, have I been gaslighting you?
Wait, no, implicitly what? Did someone use the word of the year?
No.
Off with that fucking
Complacently
shit.
called you out on your bullshit.
Wait, do we have this guy? Do we have this guy in a Discord chat?
We will.
waiting
Let me.
right
Like
now?
I said, let me literally finish this one, Brony.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out and to finally put you in your place. I don't care what you and your co-hosts have against me.
And yet you keep...
Nobody thinks of you. Nobody thinks of you. Literally.
Yeah. This is what you and your like. I was thinking about finishing some furniture I was building, and
there's
you don't know what the fuck I think
there's
about.
literally hold it. There's literally a 15, 16-year-old kid that I'm going out of my way not to talk about, but I'm thinking about him because he did some really fucked up things. We've all thought about that person, Alex.
It wasn't me for once.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the good news, Alex. You haven't done anything to get to that level, and you shouldn't want to get to that level. Yes.
He wants the attention.
No.
All right.
No.
like,
And I'm not going to tell you how to get to that level because I think you're stupid enough to go do those things.
I spent like 6 days thinking about like Growly and like how my friends were all gonna react to that once they got to BLFC, and then like Farlado started saying shit, and I was thinking about that.
Okay,
like
the sooner
that
I
was
can get
stuff
through
I
this.
was thinking about.
I don't.
Alex Maxwell wasn't stuff I was thinking about.
I don't care about
stuff
you or
that's
your...
actually happening. That's
Okay,
what we think
Inspector.
about.
The sooner we get done, the sooner we get to the main event. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I don't care what you and your co-hosts have against me. Your days of manipulation and shaming and egotism are over. This time.
manipulate.
This time, guys. You, me,
You
Skype.
manipulate.
Bring nobody else into this. Oh, we're bringing people. Just you and your undeserved ego. Brony Inspector is my undeserved ego. I will take that ego away from you. Oh, don't take Brony Inspector away from me and finally expose you for your rotten, self-centered bastard. Oh, you know what?
Do it.
Yeah, Alex, I feel
What's
like this is a
stopping you?
love letter. Let's just read that.
This is no. Hold on. I think I have a reading for
Okay,
this. Can you
okay.
just
Oh,
please
baby.
tell me the text?
God.
Oh,
'Cause
baby.
I feel like that
I'm
there
getting a
might
drink.
be something else underneath this that he's just not acknowledging.
Okay. Finally expose your rotten, self-centered bastard that you truly are. This ends now.
This ends now.
All right, I'm gonna open up Discord and we're gonna fucking see if Buttons has that room. Okay.
Oh,
put it
yeah.
In there. Okay, I'm gonna pop in that call.
Yeah.
Somebody add Step in there. I'm pretty sure. I
Yeah,
will.
Oh yeah.
No,
Step.
step is not
So-
allowed. in
Oh,
this
then I'm
one.
leaving. I'm not gonna play this game. But yeah, this isn't your stream, Buttons. We're not playing this game. He comes or we don't go. Yeah, I ain't dying to be in there. Fuck it.
I want to provide a clear, rational, third-person perspective.
Yeah, let's see. Do I
Third
even
party
have any of these left? Jeez. Oh, I think he actually shut up for a while here.
What I find funny is, like, how long ago were these messages?
That one was from April 11th, I think.
The one, no, I'm talking about the one where he was like, "I'm going to expose you." How long ago was that?
I think that was April 11th.
Well, where's the exposed video?
Yeah, I know.
It's been 2 months.
And then he stopped after that. I guess we ran out. Well,
Yeah.
there we go.
Must have gotten bored.
Yeah, basically.
Must have just gotten bored and forgot about it.
Let's see. What are you on fucking Discord, Step?
Said- said-
INSTEP. Oh, I accidentally turned on my camera. Hold on.
Oh no, there we go. We got it. Bunk. There we
Hold on,
go.
she said Step can come.
There we go. Wheat. Yeah, I was bluffing. This is so anyways, there we go.
Wow.
What?
You're a spoiled brat.
No,
Yeah.
no. He conducts this on his terms.
Okay, sure. Let's see what everybody in the chat's up to.
All right.
Buttons, yeah, I guess Buttons has hijacked the stream, but it's still here. So we are talking. Yeah.
The 2019 presenting for #1 hot stream hijacking.
So is he here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right in the
All right.
call.
So
No, he's
all
being
right.
quiet as usual.
All right.
I was trying to tell
hold,
him.
hold it, Alex. Alex, we are here today with Alex Maxwell, the gentleman on which behalf the pod is on. This is the my favorite superfan in the whole world. Alex, take it away. Play him off, Johnny.
Yeah, seriously. Like you want
I wish I had a
to.
kazoo right now.
Yeah, like you want to call Anthony a pedophile. You want to say I'm a minor. You want to lie, and you think you have a right to bitch right now. You think you have the right to
No,
bitch.
no,
and
no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
saying anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no, I'm saying,
Hold. Calm down, Buttons. Yeah, look, you don't have to take it 110 miles an hour. I think a strong wind would knock this guy over. Fuck, man.
No, bro, well, you know what? I can't wait to go to go.
I like let's talk about that. Let's look up this for a second. This man refers to me as if I'm Destro and Spoken Mind is fucking the Baroness. I'm sure Leo Convoy will get that reference. One, that's some really strange shipping. Let's see, what does Hateful want? Yo, I want in on this. All right, sure, why the fuck not?
Yeah,
Look-
dude, Hateful Son even killed today.
Oh boy.
Yeah, let's see. I think he's with an H in here. H.
No,
Alex,
I
did have
think
one ask you a
I
question,
There
though.
we go. Add. There we are. Bunk. Like,
Yeah,
calm down. Like, at worst, if everything goes in the toilet, we just leave the damn room. Which I don't think it'll do. Yeah.
Is Alex just like Alex? You
We'll tell you
I was
what.
trying to-
You know what? We've got a stream to do here, Step. Would you like to pretend to be Alex and yell at me?
Sure.
Okay. Tell me that I am the ruin of modern Western society, and I am the destroyer of
All right,
hopes and
listen,
dreams.
Anthony, I got a problem with you, and this is why. You, Mr. For No Good Reason.
Yes.
Sir,
couldn't hear
Ben
anything for a
Frenzy,
second
Mr.
better.
Anthony Aguilar.
Yes,
I have
sir.
a problem with you today.
Yes.
You see,
So what you're saying? Things are going to get a little crazy. They're going to get a little wild.
a little while.
Yeah, I know.
But listen,
Gonna get wet and wild in here. Warning to everyone listening to the stream in the front row. You will get wet.
Oh my
You have
god.
done nothing.
Let's so buttons.
You're a little
walk us
distant
through-
right now too. Friggin' Step.
Buttons, walk us through what's been going on with your conversation with this guy, because I'm only seeing some tech stuff going on. So
Right, so basically I messaged him on Discord today because I'm like, you don't learn to shut the fuck up, do you? You're nothing but a pathetic cuck who can't get a life. Go outside, smell flowers, be productive, or worth talking about, or 2, you disgusting bug. It's like, is that all? I said,
I don't need you using the C slur in this call.
No, hold it.
Alex.
Alex, no, let me try this, Alex. I don't have a problem hanging out with treacherous cunts. Like, so far, like, the times I talked to you weren't, like, horrifying. I hung out with Blake Diamond for fucking months on end. Like, if you want to come hang, that's fine. If you want to bitch about me in the corner, that's fine. I'm not really losing any sleep about it. The only reason I basically did this stream about you is, well, I literally have, like, next to nothing to talk. We'd be talking about Panzer or Far Later right now. Or we'd be talking
about Farlato and Panzer, yeah.
Or we would be talking about the 16-year-old, hopefully without mentioning his name, because all that shit's allegedly at this point.
Or we would be talking about how I lost a faucet and can't find it anywhere. Yeah, like...
Yeah, this isn't me, like, terribly destroying you. Okay, you sent me a bunch of spurgy-ass messages. You know what? When I was your age, I guarantee I was probably getting thrown off of forums left and right being a retard. It's okay! You know what? What are you, like, 20? Oh, no, wait, he said he was 35. Oh, shit. Yeah, that is
he's
pretty
almost
bad.
your age.
I'm sorry.
That's 34 or 35.
34 or 35. Well, you know what, Alex? You're a late bloomer. It's okay.
35 and a quarter, Anthony.
35 and a
Oh,
quarter. Oh.
no, he just said he's 33.
33 or 34.
We got sound people.
Guys,
All right,
guys.
All right,
everyone calm.
first thing he said. All right, cool. So if we get
I'm a woman
facts
and
wrong
3/4.
about him, no, hold on. I figured it out. If we want to be consistent, if we get a fact wrong about him, he will talk. Consistent. If we get so
All right, look, we're trying to have.
No,
at least I want to have.
You're a
he's gonna say
pedophile.
something. All right, go on it. Alexander,
Take it away.
go ahead. Take it away.
If you want me to respond, I want to be treated with the same respect and maturity that you
Absolutely.
should.
Did I treat everybody else? You are. You absolutely are being treated with the
Like,
same
yeah,
respect and maturity.
You think
I
we
think
don't
it's-
talk to each other like
Buttons
this?
called me a fucking cuck.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
baby.
Okay, so what you're telling me
Call
is...
that cucking?
Yeah.
Spoken Mind leaked my Discord to you.
Maybe because
did
you
I-
were calling Anthony a pedophile and saying I'm a minor.
My DA page on your Twitter.
Alex,
Hold
maybe,
on,
wait, maybe.
real quick, Buttons, hold on.
All right,
real quick.
hold
Wait,
it.
Do you is your DA page public?
All right, Alex, let me ask you a question here. You're yelling at me for Buttons. I do not control Buttons. I can give Buttons advice, and they could sometimes
It's
listen and
spoken
sometimes they
mind.
don't.
No, I'm
I don't control Spoken Mind. Spoken Mind isn't even in any of my goddamn rooms, pal. She, like, left after the one time we went to go talk, or 1 or 2 times. Yeah, she leaves entirely on her own. Spoken Mind is like a really high-functioning version of, Chambers. Like...
If I could ask one question real quick, I'm so confused on one little detail here. How did Spoken Mind get wrapped into this in the first
Yeah, I'm
place?
curious, of all the people that you're, like, terrified by, if you can't handle Spoken Mind, guy, you need
can't
to
even
not
play
talk to me.
six-dimensional chess,
Maybe you need to go, like, you know, fight it out with, like, ZD or fucking Mad
Yeah,
Plushie.
dude, Ephraim is.
Yeah, Ephraim Josephine, you
Yeah.
need to work your way up.
Yeah.
Step, would you like to arch old boy
That's
over
the
here?
other thing.
Dude, you know what? Like, as far as a guild concerned, is that if this were the guild and that was a concern, Step, I think we have your arch.
Yeah.
My arch?
Yeah.
Oh, Leo Convoy says, "Hey Alex, I think you're a cuck." That is from Leo Convoy. So that is from the moral authority.
I mean, the meme right now is that me and Ephraim are enemies, but alright.
Yeah. Oh.
No, like, yeah, everyone,
So, Alex,
everyone
Alex,
wishes.
I wanna ask you something real quick. Why do you think Buttons is a minor, or why did you think?
We're just giving bad information, or
I've literally
Wait,
talked to the police who've informed me that she's not.
Yeah, I'm
because
21.
if it's just
dude.
like, okay, if it's just like I heard this from someone and I got my facts wrong, okay.
Yeah.
But anything besides that is just what the fuck.
Yeah.
So it's just
I've said many a
I
time
did it to
I'm.
discredit you, Anthony.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but so you lied to
answering the
discredit someone.
So you
That's
lied.
Well, here's the
not
good news, my guy. I'm not gonna spend several $1,000s to take away your fucking food stamps because I know you have no money.
We're not
Alex.
your dad.
Yeah.
We're not gonna steal your FAFSA. Dude, so you lied to
You treat this like
discredit
it's a
Anthony
fucking
Aguilar.
joke.
Wait,
That's super easy.
you lied and said I'm a minor when I can easily prove I'm not. To call
I'll
someone
have
a
you know that
pedophile.
Buttons is 21 and a
This
half.
sounds like you're-
And,
it's
and
immature.
look, here's the thing. Outside of what Button says, here, let me tell you something. As a Daki Mafia representative here, I can tell you I have enough information on Button, just based on the personal information I have based on Button's shipping info. I can tell you that person that you're accusing of being a minor most certainly is not. And that's just from stuff that's super easy to find out about.
Super chat coming in. Wait, super chat from Leo Convoy. Gotta go left. Look me up for a tussle later, Alex, if you gotta have the balls. Leo, I have one for you the other day when I was trying to tap you on the shoulder. I think Farledo needs a strong dad figure to talk to.
I think
Farledo.
Farledo-
he hasn't
Farledo
read.
needs a
I feel like
stepdad.
Farledo has
Yeah.
not read Fight Club and has not absorbed that book's
Yeah,
message.
let me. Okay, so Alex, let me tell you about what our real problem is right now. We had a furry friend of ours, a guy that we probably not hateful and step, but a lot of us kind of like Farledo, and Farledo's dumbass is saying probably a lot of he's having the wrong opinions on pedophiles and forgiveness and shit. And we're like, no,
But dude,
that's who we'd
weirder
be
than
talking
that-
about. That's who we'd be talking about right now, not you, Alex.
Weirder than that, he's
And we
he's
like
picking
him.
Fights. He's picking fights with HCC boys. That's a super dumb thing to do.
He was last night in call. He was
Then
legitimately
instead of
like,
talking about it, why don't you actually do something about it?
What-
Oh my
what-
God,
Do what?
Alex.
Drive
Okay,
out to where he lives?
So here's the
Alright.
thing. Let me explain something about doing something about it. Doing something about it would be something like what Anthony did, where he wrote a script calling out the people who are running BLFC.
Which I
doing
did.
something about it would be deciding that your money was not going to be spent at a convention who is going to waste their security asset. People who are working with Flair who have to do what the convention tells them to, not supporting a convention that's wasting their assets like
Well,
that.
hold
That would
it,
be
hold it.
doing
Yeah,
something about
yeah,
it.
no, and
that's
here-
what everyone here is doing.
Yeah, Alex, let's give everyone a preview, because I am going to be covering the fucking biggest little fur con situation. I sent this to Brony Inspector of that day when I finally got the name of the person who's behind biggest
Stinky
little fur.
the skunk.
Yeah, dear Ty Skunk, this is just a clip. Even if it was illegal to ban a sex offender from your convention, you could have done that so you could then raise a GoFundMe to pay the court costs. Think about the headline for a minute. Furry convention taken to court for refusing to allow a pedophile access to a con. I'd be proud to go to that convention. Tycho Skunk, you are weak, spineless, and apathetic. You are a soft, yellow-bellied pansy. You are a gutless, lily-livered cream puff of a man. You are a submissive, weak-kneed pushover, and have all the business of running a con as Austin Jones has of being around teenage girls. Which, by the way, if he lives to get out of prison, I'm sure he'll be accepted at your convention, if it's still open. You are a good-for-nothing, pigeon-hearted worm. Between your inability to do the simplest of decisions, the bare bonus of responsibilities to not only your staff, but your customers, and the only overall scar that your glaring incompetence has put on the fandom because you can't find a set to tell pederast your money's no good here. No good here. The internet, at best, knows your fandom is a meme. At best. An abomination at worst. That's what I've done. And I wrote that up while I was at work.
Amen, brother. That was beautiful.
I remember when fucking Medicare tweeted out about biggest little fur con, and I got so disappointed when he got distracted by Sargon. I'm like, no, Jim, make a video. I'll pay good money. Please cover Growly. It'll be good. And that Growly the Growler is a sex fucking offender, convicted. Like, there's,
Yeah.
I don't have it. If I had Joe's tweet in front of me from fucking goddamn Brony Inspector, we could rattle that off right now. I don't sit around thinking about you, Alex, because you hate me. If you don't like me, that's okay. I don't need you to.
Well, here's the tangent I want to get into real quick, Anthony.
Yeah.
So, Alex, besides bitching and moaning about strangers on the internet, what exactly is your trade, your talent, or your contribution to this community? Like, what do you do that, like, gives you this notion that people should listen to what you have to say? That's exactly what I thought. Absolutely.
God damn, that was beautiful. And like, yeah, like Alex, and that's also a playground. I want to just point out that you're saying, "Oh, well, do something about that." This is literally something a child would say.
This is a question I want to ask you. Alex, what is your idea of doing something in your perfect society? What would be doing something? What would you do if you were in Anthony Aguilar's shoes? I know that's a thought that makes you want to vomit 20 times over. I understand that. But if you were in Anthony's position, what would you do about the Froyo situation or any situation?
I mean, besides start eating healthy.
I'm gonna be on your ass about that.
Yeah. Combing your hair, probably shaving up a little bit better. I'm trying to work with you here. Anything else?
Alex, speak.
What do you do for work, Alex?
Hang out with better people, maybe. I don't know.
Do you even have Alex? Like,
Yeah,
do you have
like,
a job? Do you
wait,
anything?
hold on. Did you clean your room?
Piling questions up on
Post floor.
You realize that,
Make your bed. Start buying dockies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, did you make your bed?
That's
Yeah.
why we keep piling on questions.
Yeah, did you finally clean up your room like your mom asked?
All right, guys. Let's let him answer because that does have a point. Like, hey, you know what? What do you do? What do you think? What do you think is doing something about
What
it?
would you do? That's first of all, that's the first question.
Yeah, like not going to the con. That's doing something.
No, I agree.
Right?
Yeah, that's fucking beautiful.
Right.
And
These people aren't gonna get my $80. Like, and like, do you think I don't want to go and hang out with all my friends in Reno? Yeah, I do. I really do. That's really something I want to do. But if the people running this aren't willing to do the simplest thing about this, then they're not. Then like that. They make my decision on whether to go or not super easy for me.
So,
and like, do you know how fucking laid every night I would have gotten if I went to BLFC? It's ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous notion that I would pass on that to say to myself, well, I didn't support that con because because the guy running it was putting security through the ringer, putting flair through the absolute ringer, doing a detail on this guy, and not simply going, he's a liability, get him out of here.
Yeah,
I don't need this. Yeah.
Super chat here. Super Teeth K9. Looks like I came in at an interesting plot twist. So basically, yeah, here's the whole thing. I'm talking to a fan right now, Alex Maxwell, and well, fine. You know what? If you take the time to watch somebody, let's say you watch like a boxer, like a Floyd Mayweather. Even if you're watching him to get his ass kicked, you're still a fan. You're still watching, so you're a fan.
Yeah.
You're absolutely. Yeah. Haters are...
I watched every game Kobe Bryant played just because I was like, who's going to foul? I want to see you on the line, you fucking shit.
Yeah, like even if there's like a YouTuber...
because I hated Kobe Bryant, but I also wanted to see every moment he was on the floor. Weird, right?
And like even if there's a YouTuber you hate, and if you still watch their videos just to see like if they're like Sargon or Christian.
I hate Doug DeMiro.
Okay,
and I watch all of his videos.
all right. I think we've given Alex enough time to think here. Are you ready to break your vow of silence now, Alex? Are you going to speak up now?
Yeah.
Am I even allowed to talk?
Yeah, you got the floor.
You've been allowed to talk.
Oh my
Now
god,
speak.
your brain is smoother than a bowling alley.
Are you sure you're 33 years old, dude? I don't mean to be rude.
All right. Let's give him the shot again.
Yeah,
Take the floor.
Okay, first of all, my question first. What would you do? Because earlier you read about how we should do something. Well, what would you do?
Yeah.
Situation.
In regards to Biggest Low Fur Con.
Yeah, you have the floor.
Detective,
I agree. Okay.
Alex.
take it away, please.
Alex, dude. In all seriousness, dude, come on.
You got lead on this fucking
You just
target.
asked if you could have the floor. You have the floor. Use it.
The Growly the Growler situation. What's your fucking plan, dude?
Or were you
Hey,
referring to
okay,
that?
here let's refresh everyone's memory.
I think it was referring to
There's a furry convention. There's people who are claiming that they are legally required to let a pedophile in a convention where children are. What would you do that wouldn't be talking? Especially when you don't have time to go up to the fucking convention yourself.
Yeah.
And let's say you did,
Yeah.
and it still cost $80 to get in the door.
In addition to, taking the time off from work.
Right? No, like, and what? I'm gonna
Tickets.
go mooch off waffles. That's some invisibrony.
Okay,
grade
let's
shit.
let
I ain't
him
doing that.
talk, guys. Let's let him
You can
talk.
talk now.
Yeah, you can talk, Alex. You've been allowed
Glad
to
you
talk.
laughed at that, Anthony.
He seemed like a nice enough guy, but I could tell what you have a problem
He's a
with.
mooch, dude. It's the worst
Alex?
thing anyone could say about
Hold on,
him.
You can talk.
Take the floor. So he's donut. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, are you going to talk or what?
Hi, Event.
All right, come on, dude.
At least Looney Turtle
We're
was
not-
doing
we're not
his
gonna
homework
dogpile
when he
you, we're
wasn't
not-
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bitched about wanting to talk and get your point in. Talk.
Yeah, own the libs, man. Own the libs.
Yeah, Alex, please, so I can move on to Panzer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this
Do
rate,
like
Anthony,
that.
we're
Wait, no,
pretty
he was
much
about to say something. Hold it.
Hold on.
Everyone, mute. Cut your mics.
So, everyone else has muted me except you.
No, we're muted. You can go.
I hate every one of your advocates, Anthony. It is so goddamn ridiculous. How many people can put up with your bullshit?
Example.
Why act like an asshole to everyone?
Why not?
To everything.
I don't treat everybody like shit. What are you talking about? Where did I shit on Magpie or Lost Narrator?
You treat everything like it's a fucking joke.
I mean, tell me it isn't.
This.
I didn't joke when fucking Sean Howell passed away. Shit, son. I have some fucking serious moments. Have I sat here and made fun of anyone dying in the fandom?
You called me a bitch and called my family bitches. Do you think I'm gonna take that lightly?
I don't care how you take it. I think if my memory serves, I said you came from a long line of bitches. Your father was a bitch, his granddaddy was a bitch, and his great granddaddy was a bitch. You've gone on for bitches for generations.
Stop laughing. Stop laughing.
Ah,
Yeah, Alex, if you were here right now, I'd offer you a beer. I'm like, here, have a drink. Who gives a shit? Want to crate him? Fuck, man, who cares? I don't know your dad. That should be your first thing. He doesn't know my family.
Then
I shouldn't give a crap.
stop.
That you shouldn't give a fuck. Jesus. You know, you act like everybody I hang out with is super fucking durable. I've had to explain this to Button several times. Look, if someone's talking shit about somebody that you love and care about, and they never met him, that opinion doesn't matter. At all. Stop worrying about it. If I said
I
your
take
dog sucks and you're
seriously.
screaming back at me, I don't even own a dog, then you're the one with the problem.
I take the kind of shit you say, or anyone says to me, seriously. Do you think that is...
I think what?
Can I chime in for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alex, you do know what subjective humor is, right?
This shit again. God.
All right,
Yes,
Alex.
I'm
If I literally were like every day I got up and I hounded you, that'd be a dick move. That'd be a brush too much. There are other people that might do shit like that, but I ain't doing that to you, Alex. This isn't on. It's not like, okay, it's Monday, it's time to shit on Alex. This barely ever fucking happens. And when I forgot about you, which you harangued me for, where's my video? When am I gonna get talked about? Do you remember that, Alex? Do I have to go back to that fucking email? You were sitting there asking for stupid shit like this,
Also,
and now that I'm
Alex,
lightly poking you, I'm suddenly a dick.
I did want to ask one question.
Dude,
In April,
do you want it? Do you want it in chat, dude?
Hold on. In April, I think you messaged Anthony saying how you were going to expose him and make a video on him. It's late May. Where's the video?
I did
Where's
say I
your
would
giant
make a
exposure?
video.
What?
This,
I didn't understand you.
this is so goddamn ridiculous.
I'm just asking you a question. Like, you said you were going to
This
make a
is
video
so
on Anthony. Where is it?
goddamn
said I wasn't gonna
ridiculous.
make a video.
You said you were going to expose him. Where's the exposure? What did you do? Link it, because I might not have seen it.
I'm trying to remember the last time I heard "goddamn ridiculous" used, and I really liked that phrase. So like, you know what I'm thinking, man? Like, you need to you should just ask Anthony real nice if you could be in one of his Skype rooms or one of his Discord rooms, so like
Oh,
you
absolutely.
could hang out and
So I
see
can
how
just be
everyone
like, I
don't
is
wanna
really
make
in
goddamn
real
plan.
life. Hold on. Instead of what you are imagining everyone is doing.
Dude, listen, I know a group, one of Anthony's groups you'd love.
And you know what? I think
Does it
that
start with a barrel?
I think that Barrel is the perfect place
this guy
where
would
you
actually
should
be
go.
perfect.
Oh,
Full of
Like
people.
he's absolutely perfect for Barrel, and I think that like this would be a good opportunity for you to like actually get an idea for how things like actually work, so that like you don't get off in cuckoo cloudland thinking about like how you think things work, because like, dude, no one's plotting against you. Just because you disagree with Anthony passionately doesn't mean he has it out for you.
There's a show I want to recommend to you, guy. It's called fucking Paranoia Agent. Where basically,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah. I think you should probably watch
Yeah.
that and really think long and hard. That I know life's probably sucks for you right now, and it's easy to demonize that I might be the reasons for all that. And if that gives you power, knock your fucking self out. But I'm really not.
But check your antidepressants, because that's
Yeah.
not a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, not to mention, Alex, I'm not going to say like everything, because you told me really personal shit off the bat in DM, and I'm like,
That's a bad
you
idea.
did that. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
dude,
well,
don't go.
Buttons,
no,
that's also Button's secret power, so let's all stop talking about that right now.
Okay.
I wasn't saying I'm not going to say what it is at all.
Once I go through this man's favorites page on his DeviantArt, I'll know what his personal shit
Oh
is.
no! He was telling me like mental illnesses and shit, and I'm just like, I understand the stuff, but don't open out the gate.
Oh no! There comes the lolly police. No. I don't think I saw anything there, but I didn't study it all that hard. So.
How about Alex, I'll send you a friend
Anthony,
request.
remember that one fan and frenzy call I was put in where we were in that group of three with like three people who had it out for, what was it, the inverted shadow or whatever?
Yeah.
And I
Oh
was
god,
like,
that guy.
I look up his DA page, and the first thing I say is, "You have a foot fetish?"
Pardon, ma'am, a foot pick.
Alex,
Spare
I'll
a
send you
foot
friend
pick.
request on Discord.
Pardon, ma'am,
like,
spare a foot
Alex.
pick.
And Alex, let me level with you. I know you're like saying that Anthony doesn't treat anyone right or doesn't take anything seriously. I'm not gonna say like, I was going through some really bad shit in January, and I'm not gonna say what because it's personal. Really bad shit. Anthony was actually there for me. Like, Anthony doesn't just laugh at everything and think everything's a joke. Like, if you are someone who treats him with respect, and
I'm gonna have to
finds,
quote. Hold it. I'm gonna have to quote hateful pics, or it didn't happen.
Like,
Don't you besmirch my name telling people I care about shit.
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
That's slander and libel.
First
Fuck
of
that.
all, fucking Anthony is an evil bastard who will
Yes.
eat all of the party guest chips before they ever get
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Don't anyone ever forget that.
Citation needed, evidence required.
And okay, here's another thing, Alex. You say like, "Oh, well, I don't like the fact you're talking about my family." Dude, these people like call me a dumb blonde all the time and shit. Like, that's how we mess with
Sometimes
each other.
Okay, fine,
Yeah,
Steph.
yeah.
Dumb
No, I'll
blonde.
admit.
No,
I'll
we
admit.
don't. No,
I'm
it's
dumb.
redheads we don't like.
God damn it.
What are you talking about?
God damn it, I
Yeah,
love you very
it's
much.
right-headed redheads that piss everyone off.
Yeah, like
We're
we
telling
mess
you
with
not
each
to
other.
dye your hair purple like that faggot Brony.
All right,
Like, what do you?
let me give you a little tip there, freaking Alex. I'm trying to come up with two conclusions. I'm gonna use the same guy. Do you know who the mysterious Mr. Enter is?
Oh God.
Now, generally, when he takes shit, and there's one example where he did the right thing, where basically most of the times he gets yelled at or gets said something insulting, he flies way off the handle, takes it really badly, and guess what? Every troll out in the world looks at that, goes, "Damn, he sure is easy to fuck with." But the one time where someone said, "Go commit Sudoku," he's like, "I did, and my grammar is still shit." Everyone laughed. I was like, you got a little bit in there. You gotta stop taking all this shit so fucking seriously. No one, like, gets up in the day and starts arching you. Now, granted, if you click on that link, that's probably gonna change. But...
Yeah.
Jesus.
Beryl is if you think Anthony's bad, you're gonna have a bad time in Beryl.
No, Max. No, don't, Max. Don't listen to her.
Yeah.
Beryl is
Listen,
Beryl
no,
does
hold on,
not.
I got this. I'm
Beryl
actually
does
in Beryl.
not put up with shit
I'm
from
actually in
Anthony.
Beryl.
That's why
I'm
you're
actually
gonna
in
like that chick.
I'm actually in Beryl, and I can say this. Beryl is absolutely perfect for like
Max.
just
Max.
people who want to have a good time, people who want to hang out. It's a good chill server. Like if
Yeah,
you need somewhere
Maxie
to vent,
boy, listen. You
If you
will
need
be
somewhere to
able
talk
to
about
bitch
personal
about
shit.
Anthony all you want over there, and they'll actually listen to you.
You know,
Unlike
yeah.
here, where we're just gonna fucking dogpile you. So, like, if you want to
Here,
find
here.
a fucking place where you can finally fucking have a voice about this shit, that is where you need to go.
Here. Alex, let me sum up Beryl
Max.
in one question.
His name is Max.
don't hateful. Actually,
I
don't.
said Alex.
Don't.
I said let me sum up Beryl in one question for you. Do you have a sister?
I don't want to know.
Was she hot?
Yeah, we're jokesters, but we understand everybody. We're a very liberal place, you know. We respect everybody.
They're very progressive about
We're
the
very
autism
Dude,
spectrum.
that's one of those poorly managed Discord chats everyone's heard all about.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
you know
no,
what?
it's so poorly
But let's look if we're
Inconsistently
Yeah.
consistent.
I think
no
we're-
one around
hold-
there, no
hold
one
on.
around there is gonna give you any bullshit like.
All right,
this.
so are we done with Max so we could finally move on to talking
Yeah, I
about
think
Pan?
so. Are you done, Max?
His name is Max.
You never answered my question.
Alex Maxwell, whatever the fuck.
Whatever your backpacking cipherous little rice-a-roni jabroni name is, it doesn't matter.
Shut up,
Max!
Max.
I thought we were friends, Max.
Max,
Max.
we're bros.
Maxi
What the
Pad,
fuck?
come on.
Maxi Pad.
Max.
Maxi
Oh my
boy,
God.
Maxi
Mixie
boy,
Max.
what's the deal, man?
Max, you realize they're gonna keep going. Max, you realize that because you're yelling, they're getting a reaction, they're finding it funny, and they're gonna keep going.
Your mom's
Like
fucking gay.
Oh my God.
You come from a long line of Maxwells.
Mom's gay, and I bet your dad's gay.
Here's the thing, Buttons. It's like when this man yells, I can't even hear him yell.
I know. Oh my God.
Fuck. That's beautiful.
Did he leave?
I don't know. I don't
No,
care.
he's still
Oh,
here.
he's still here.
Max,
Hey Alex,
did
why don't you make fun
now,
of this?
I think we again. I'm prepared to go back to fucking.
No, I want to keep going. Hey Max.
Is he crying? Hold on, quiet, shh,
Max,
everyone.
Oh, don't cry,
yeah.
Max.
Cry
Are
some
you
more.
sure,
Cry some more.
Anthony? Are you sure we're not talking to Panzer right now?
Oh.
You.
Oh my
fucking-
God, we did it!
Max.
No, hold it. I'm gonna tell you where I lost my fucking patience.
Everyone mute so we can hear this. Hurt people, hurt.
No, look. I only wanted to move on to the next motherfucker before he broke down on fucking stream. Jesus.
Stupid. Maxie, tell Uncle Steppy why you're crying.
I hurt myself today.
I cut myself up in 2 pieces. This is how last resort.
Cut my life into
Alex, you cut
pieces. This is my. Hold on, wait. No, I think I got my guitar here. Hold on, wait.
Crying. Hold on,
He's
hold on,
actually crying.
Oh.
This is my Max resort.
Max resort.
Can you
Suffocation, no
Alex,
breathing, don't
Alex,
give
wait.
If
I
I
want
fall
to point
breathing.
guys, I want to point something out. Max, you are crying because of a 15-year-old right now. I want to let you know you are a 33-year-old
have
man
no talk.
crying.
Just saying. But anyway,
Are
Max,
you gonna tell me if you have a sister or not, bro?
And also, was she hot at any
Yeah.
point in
are
her
you having a
life?
PTSD attack right now, my guy?
Jesus.
You need to calm down. You need to take a break. You
Also,
need to
did
take a
you have
walk.
fantasies about fucking?
Hey Alex, go get some ice cream.
Is
or
there a
take
game
walk
you've
or-
been
Alex,
thinking
Alex,
about buying lately?
Alex,
Jen in chat just called you Uncle Step. I guess that's going to be your new nickname. We're here with Uncle
I'll take
Stepius.
I'll take it. Listen, Alex. Take it from an angsty teenager. Listen. I cry a lot.
Okay,
Sometimes in my pillow.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Just
I know
let me.
what crying feels like. It
I
might
am.
be tough.
Yeah, dude,
there is a tear-soaked Dakimakura of Chica
Yeah,
right now.
I am listless and lost. I
You're not
have a
supposed to.
docky pile. I bury myself underneath.
Alex, listen.
I know what it feels like to cry about shit.
Listen.
I do not do
I get
that
it.
shit on a live
I
stream.
get that you think that Anthony is a horrible person. We can have that debate. We can absolutely have that debate.
Yeah.
But listen, if you're going to sit here and cry because some random fucking autist on the internet made fun of your mom.
That he doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know your mom.
I don't want to know your mom either.
I'm sure Leo would like to know your mom.
Okay.
Oh my
You know
god!
what? I'm actually half intrigued about the mom, so I wouldn't go that far.
Right.
Yeah,
We want to know, does your mom like guys with purple hair?
yeah no, does she want to
Yeah,
go
hey,
like
Alex,
a little
Alex,
alternative,
Max.
like, you know?
Hey, Max. How big are your mom's tits?
Okay,
Oh my
wow.
Let me talk about
No,
the
hey,
gash.
No, I want to
Bro.
keep going. I want to see where this goes.
No.
Max, why don't you Max, why don't you do something productive and get off
Go do something
go-
productive.
Don't
Get
Yeah.
your mom's bra out of her drawer, take a picture.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
so
it.
No,
hold it, Max. Here's an idea. If you get really frustrated, get up, walk around fucking town, come back, do something that's fun. Stop worrying about this stupid shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
download
Play a video
new
game.
you like, dude.
Yeah.
You should have stayed home and played the new Call of Duty. This is not
No,
cash money.
yeah, Max. Let me give you some suggestions. You could go watch BoJack. You could go watch yourself some Rick and Morty. You could go watch fucking Adventure Time, I guess, maybe.
Dude, go
Paranoia
check out some
Agent
8-bit
She-Ra.
guys. You
Yeah,
could watch
this-
a Doug DeMuro video.
Yeah,
Or you could watch some hentai on the down low.
Dude,
Yeah.
the anime
Have it
titties.
open while
Ain't
you're
nothing
in
wrong
Skype.
with a little anime titties every once in a while. That makes me smile. What's your deal?
I'm imagining Brony Inspector dressed up looking like Pinkie Pie. I just want to watch you smiles with all his
Gotcha.
hentais in the
Alex,
back.
Smile.
But Alex, seriously, like go take a walk, go do something
No, hold on.
productive. Like
No, we need to
Max,
make sure
are you done crying?
he is.
Are you done crying?
Go watch
We
Flash
need to get
Kids or
him a
some shit.
link.
Yeah.
You know what? I still stand by what I said earlier. He needs a link to every room we've got so that he actually gets how we talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this guy a link to the world that never was. We'd
Yeah,
love to have him
perfect.
in our
Oh
server.
yeah.
Indeed.
You're in there too, Brony. So you're more than welcome to join in.
Yeah. This is perfect. Yeah.
are you good, Max? Though, are you done crying? Do you need like ice cream or something?
Are you done crying your dick off?
Would you like to get some
Dude,
bunny
I-
slippers
like-
on and
Get
little,
Get
little-
want some
yourself a
hot-
nice
cup of hot cocoa.
cup
Go
of
get
chamomile
yourself a
tea.
nice, go get yourself a nice strawberry Twizzler, man. You deserve
Yeah,
it.
that's what you. Yeah,
Strawberry.
strawberry Coors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will solve your little problem.
Yeah. So yeah, no one in that chat down below is gonna make fun of you later on, Max. No one's gonna go to your DA and do that. You guys better not.
I will.
I'm looking at you.
I
Event,
won't.
I'm looking
No,
at you,
I
Event
won't.
Horizon.
No,
You
dude,
big old
that
bully.
like, all right, Barrel's the fucking most chill place on Discord.
Okay, I'm not
Everyone
saying that.
knows it.
but-
Okay, Alex, are you done crying?
No. Max, are you?
All
are
right.
you
Fucking with
okay?
him.
All right,
Fucking Skype.
all right. So I'm floating back to fucking Skype. If anybody wants to
Okay.
go talk about
Alex,
Okay.
Panzer,
finish your shit.
bunk. There we go. One sec. Let me take my ass over there and fucking restart that shit. Where is that chat? Jesus. Oh, there we go. Woot. Buttons wants in, so I guess that'll do. One sec.
Hello?
Hello.
There we go.
Yep. There we go.
I hit the wrong
Buttons, you
button
can
by
get in. They'll get a kick after the call. Oh yeah, Panzer. So, For everyone who
What
doesn't
the
know,
fuck?
there's this fine German individual of
Oh,
fine
yeah.
culture and and when I first met him, he sounded really sophisticated. Did he have some kind of medical background?
I think so. Oh, he had
Panzer?
problems, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Panzer had mental. I'm not gonna say what, but he
No,
had
no,
some
no, no,
mental
no, no,
health
no, no, no,
issues.
no. When I say
I
medical
know.
background, by the way, Hi Ranger.
Why am I here?
I didn't call you on purpose. I'm sorry. It's good to see you, by the way. But
She called the
It's good-
room.
I didn't call
It's
the
good to see
room.
you too. Hanging out with the big titty goth GF, so I'm gonna let you go, but
Okay,
I'll talk
cool.
to
Have
you
fun
later.
with your big titty golf
Wait,
GF.
you can tell us about that on stream, but sure, we're streaming, by the way, so you just let everyone know.
Oh.
Yeah, Ranger here. That's the one with the cow avatar. Just started.
I'm
Yeah,
Anthony.
I will put
Anthony.
a timestamp in this stream so people know
God
exactly
damn
when.
it.
Yeah, sorry.
Hey,
Okay.
be proud.
Yeah. The elf is like, I'd be bragging about having a big titty, whatever. And
God
I don't even
damn
know.
it.
I don't even know if the elf is into big titties. Oh, hi, Farlito.
No,
What the
Oh.
fuck did I just walk into?
Big titties. They push you back. Big titties to gay furries is like fucking crucifixes to vampires. It's true. It's damn true. Did he leave? Oh, I offended Farlito. Oh,
Aw.
Scared for Lato.
oh.
I'm not happy with him after last night, so
Yeah, last night was I still insist that you don't put up that call. That should. Stay
I won't. No, don't worry, I won't. I
Okay,
won't.
cool.
If you do, I
No,
swear to
No,
God.
I said I
don't,
won't.
Farlito. Breathe. We're
Yeah.
gonna be cool.
Listen, I
I
said I
know.
won't.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah.
Farlido,
Look.
this is a room of friendship.
Despite.
So just don't.
No, hold it,
Now
Farlito.
accept the friendship before I beat you with the stick.
Let me make my point here to Farlito. So if he inevitably goes too far, I said my piece. Farlito, despite yesterday, I am attempting to give you a fair shake. Do not squander this, okay? So
Okay, liberal.
We're streaming right now, Farlito. You might want to be careful with what you say.
yeah, we are streaming. But anyways,
He
yeah,
said a
yeah.
Okay.
political
Yeah, I said you
alignment.
said some dumb shit earlier, but that's literally it, and that doesn't narrow it down in limbo. Everybody
Yeah,
says
a lot
dumb
of
shit.
dumb shit gets
I thought-
said.
So you're not
Well,
gonna say
let's-
what?
let's-
Right
get
after
back
the
to-
big titty
so-
golf GF thing said just a moment ago.
Yes. You know what? Later on in Fan and Frenzy, we'll literally call the podcast "Big Titty Goth Girlfriend." But anyways,
God damn
Do it.
it's no penis bust lesbian, but you know what can you do?
That has 500 views, I think.
I know
right?
it does because people just want to know about that: the bust, the penis, and the lesbian. So, getting back to it here, Panzer.
I once had someone call
Had
me a
a-
big titty golf
a-
boyfriend.
Good to know. So at the at the beginning of the fucking month, Panzer had some kind of breakdown, right?
Yeah, basically Panzer was just going off the rails, and it started where he was just telling everyone, by the way, I hate Limbo, I'm a spy, fuck buttons, and then saying
No.
stuff
Well,
like,
here's the other thing. Panzer said a bunch of dumb shit that he said he was into fucking the wrong kind of porno and this.
That's
that,
what I
and-
was about
yeah,
to
and
say.
most of us, I think damn near everybody realized, oh, you're trying to pick a fight. No, nobody's taking you seriously.
yeah, I think I realized what
Yeah.
was going on
Even-
when he was like,
even
oh,
the
I
people-
want you to ruin my
even,
reputation.
even the people from the top of the barrel, like, nah, you're being a butthole. Knock it off. Like, and fucking recently, and I'll try and I don't know why I'm defending it. Maybe because I remember Panzer being smarter than he was. Hi, Farlito. Fucking he.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No,
We
I
love you, Far.
I like giving people the benefit of the doubt. I like building up the people I like as, like, gods among men. AZ lets me have my delusion. Don't take it away from me. I mean, look, I want.
I won't. You will
Yeah.
never hear a bad thing about my
Yeah.
life other than people being dumb.
Yeah, and that's fine. For the longest time, I built up Blake, and he managed to fuck that away. So, but here's what happened. Panzer, on top of all that, Sunday.
Monday.
Yeah, Today is Monday.
Last Monday.
Okay, last Monday. There's a girl named Jazz who's 17 that he wound up sending amputation porn to. Now, drawn, not the real thing. Now, hold it.
How come I'm not surprised, honestly, though?
Hold
Like,
it.
just being
Hold
honest
it.
for a moment.
Let's put this into context. I'm not condoning what he did, but by the time you were
Yeah.
17, specifically Farlito, you've already seen porn by the time you're 17, right?
Yeah.
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 Well, I sure did. I sure did. Oh, baby. So, yeah. Especially, I guarantee every 17-year-old ever. Now, granted, she didn't ask to see it. It was probably inappropriate. I glanced at it. I don't have it in front of me. Was there actual intercourse in the picture?
I can look.
Okay, just don't put it anywhere.
No, I won't. I won't.
Okay.
I will just
Was
verify.
it just two nudes next to each other, or
No, there was some stuff.
Okay.
Not
Penetration is the term you're looking for, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Was it
let
more?
me-
Well, yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, was it more fan service or was it?
Oh no, there was let's see, there's collars, bondage, you could see the dick. There was it was pretty hardcore shit.
No,
Buttons,
Oh.
I'm going to let you know,
Okay.
colors and bondage can be very fan servicey.
Yes.
No, they're naked too.
Okay, I understand that. But,
Okay.
But is there sex in it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
100%.
I'm not going to ask about what holes they used because it's amputation. So, anyways,
All
yeah.
of them.
Yeah,
and
no.
more.
So yeah, anyways,
Oh, no.
I glanced at it. Maybe I had my glasses. I don't remember. I just was like, hey, take that out of the room. I don't think anyone thought that Panzer was a pedophile. I think he wasn't thinking. But the thing that set me off into orbit is, from what I'd heard, is that Panzer gets like fall down, drunk, stupid, suicidal.
Oh
like,
yeah.
when he starts drinking. And while we're talking to him, while I'm trying to talk to him, it was me, Leo, and Buttons in the call. And I'd like to say that I was being calm and patient more than I should have been. Thank you for making me look like a butthole, Panzer. I'm noticing he's shaky. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, I'm drinking right now. And I'm like, I wanted to slap the shit out of him. I'd like lost all my patience at that point where I'm like,
And the
look,
reason, and we were also talking about him drinking at the time. Like, I'm like, yeah, I noticed, like, I was asking, hey, are you kind of drunk right now?
You
know,
didn't
like-
even have the common decency to invite me to come along to drink. Fuck you, Panzer. Fuck you and your fucking ass. Jesus.
And you
I'm
just
sure
gotten
he would
off of
enjoy
work.
that.
You had just gotten off of work. Like
I
an
could
hour
have
or
used
two
one. Like
before.
if you would have said, look, I'll get my act together tomorrow. I might have even, as bad advice as that had been, he was like, oh, I'm just trying to quietly sit here and have a little sip and shit. And it just rubbed me the wrong way. He didn't want to do anything. And it occurred to me another thing when I said, hey, look, are you going to try and get help? Now, I understand the thing about the medical therapists, and it takes time, and you've told me that, and I've heard that a couple other places. And I said, what about antidepressants? I don't want to do that. And it occurred to me, he doesn't want to get on antidepressants. This is just my hot take, because then he might have to stop drinking.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not,
yeah. That's
You cannot drink alcohol if you are on antidepressants or anxiety medication.
Wait,
Well,
are
the
we
way it was told to
insinuating
me,
that
'cause-
Panzer might be an alcoholic?
No, I
Oh,
think
he absolutely is.
I remember one time in January, he just messaged me in the middle of the night all of a sudden, like asking me, and this is what made me realize he was having a breakdown this time too. Is he did this the last time is when he was drinking in January. He's like, I want you to ruin my life. I want you to make up something about me and say something horrible and ruin my reputation. He's doing that again this time, by the second time when he was having this breakdown this month. I think a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And so when he was like in call this time, I was like, hey, you're not doing too good. This isn't the Panzer we know. You're more kept together than this. And I was like, are you drunk right now or something? Am I gonna have to deal with this again tonight? And he's like, oh, I'm drinking right now. And I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
the reason and then his response to the antidepressants was, I don't think it'll help. And I think that's bullshit. You know, I know antidepressants, obviously, like, when you start medication, I think I started antidepressants and anxiety medication
Hang on.
about a month ago. They cause some physical issues and shit. Like, they cause nausea or something, but, like, it doesn't mean it's not going to help. It's just going to take time to get used to. And you
Alright.
can't just brush off help.
Let
I don't
Farley
know.
I
go
mean,
cut in
like
here. Go ahead.
it's like maybe this is like I've only had like 2 half doses of whatever the hell they put me on, and it's like I can actually get out of bed. I'm not sure if that's like a placebo, but it's fucking something.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The way Peter
Yeah.
described antidepressants to me is it isn't a magical pill that will cure your
Yeah.
problems. It gives you the means
Yeah,
by
it's
which to cope. You have
What
to
it
work
does
out.
is it balances the brain chemistry so that you actually might have somehow, because of that,
Motivation.
the motivation to unfuck your life. That's
Yeah, 'cause,
how
like-
it's supposed to work.
Like, depression isn't just sadness. It like makes it hard to even get out of bed, do the daily routine. Like, the medication helps the balances in your brain to be like, all right, maybe it's like energy or something. It gives you energy or something. Because the main issue with depression is you're tired, you're drained, you don't want to do anything.
You don't have the correct hormones in your brain that make it so you have a bunch of emotions to the full extent you should have.
Yeah.
The most what they generally use for antidepressants is serotonin blockers. But the way that it was told to me is that, like, you can technically drink, but you have to be extremely wary because the effects of alcohol the way alcohol is processed in the body is through the liver, which is the same way by which the antidepressants are processed. So it can alter how the antidepressants affect your body.
So it's
Well,
just a
not
bad
only
idea.
that.
It's
Well,
just a
yeah,
bad
and
idea.
not only that, but antidepressants are also a bit of a sedative. So on top of that, if you drink alcohol, it could kind of increase the effects of sedation, which could be fatal.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Like drinking is literally like a very dangerous thing to do when you're taking this medication,
Yeah.
medically speaking.
I know. I was
When
told, like,
you are
if
taking
you just have a
antidepressant meds, drink tea, hot cocoa, and water.
And juice.
Yeah, obviously. Just
just-
drink juice all the
I
time.
was just imagining the elf
actually-
going, I'm about to give you my hot take on being a cinnamon roll, and Buttons goes, hold my juice
Actually,
pouch.
If you have ADHD and you're taking ADHD meds, avoid citrus fruit because it can fuck with it. Or not, yeah, like drink fruit on all, drink fruit, aka juice on all medications. Fruit juice is yummy. I'm getting.
Except for grapefruit is what Uber Blue Dragon says.
Grapefruit's just fucking gross. I'm sorry. I hate it.
I've had it. It's very acidic.
I think I hate the fact it tastes like literal metal in my mouth. Then again, I'm very weird genetically where I can't taste mango or avocado, so I'm kind of like my taste buds are weird. So maybe that's
Well,
just it.
Event
but-
Horizon said he's.
that sucks. I love mango.
Event Horizon says I'm not here because I want to improve my life. Do you want an event? If you'd like to come in, we could talk about whatever hell's going on with your life. Since I think we've gotten to the end of what I need to say about Panzer. If you talk to anybody that, I don't know, well, maybe when you make up your mind. Yeah, I would encourage people probably to avoid Panzer unless he gets his shit together, which, good luck.
Panzer, like he can be cool, but like I don't
He
know.
needs to learn how to take the medically accepted chill pill and
Yeah.
get off alcohol.
I think my biggest
Yeah.
concern isn't that he's done something bad enough, is that I could see him escalating and just not doing anything about it.
What pissed me off, what absolutely pissed me off, is at first I was like, okay, so is this your only time doing this and saying this to us? Like, oh yeah, absolutely. And this step comes to call, oh no, this is not his first time. He's done it multiple times. Like, fucking Panzer.
Isn't Panzer from Barrel originally?
And, I think so. He's
Well, that explains everything, doesn't it?
Well, you said it, not me. Anyways.
He also tried saying that because he's from Germany and it's his background and shit, and I don't accept that because I know fucking Spoken Mind is from fucking Germany or Dutch or something, and
During
she
my
doesn't.
teenage years, I had a German stepfather. That man tried to raise me German, and one of the things that you learn is that German culture is not about drinking. It's about drinking and knowing how to drink fucking responsibly. Because if you're gonna do something, you better fucking do it right.
Yeah, so Panzer, I don't know. I'm disappointed in him. I don't hate him, but I'm just concerned.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can someone draw the?
It's
Y'all know
painfully
that, like-
ironic too, because he's in like the part of the world where healthcare should be, better.
Yeah, like that.
Wow,
that-
it's almost like
It's
that liberal
accessible and
bullshit is a
affordable.
big giant con job over there. Sorry, I had to put that in there.
Well, or it's
Wait a minute.
No,
that's
now
where he's-
hold it.
it's choice.
No,
At this point, it's more that he's choosing not to get help than that he.
I got
Okay,
it.
that
like-
pisses me off now.
Okay.
Like for me, like I know the only
Well,
reason I'm actually able
we
to
did,
afford
we
shit.
did, no, hold
is
on.
my
We did
parents
address
are
that earlier.
holding-
Mal said Panzer needs to stop being such a pansy. Yes, that's true. We addressed that there is a bit of a waiting line. I don't know if Panzer actually is waiting to get help. Is he?
I don't. He said that. Yeah, he said it was like a 6-month waiting list, which I think is kind of bullshit because I know, like my therapist took like at least only like 2 months to get. I guess it depends on the area of the country you're in and how good their mental health care is. But like, if healthcare and mental health are supposed to be better in Germany than America, I'm starting to get a little more pissed at Panzer if he's just choosing not to get help.
I just want to
6 month wait sounds like absolute total bullshit because there's going to be multiple professionals wherever you are. Some might not be specialized, but you can at least find someone who's general who's going to have an opening to get you started, and they can generally also help you refer to someone who knows better. Like my last therapist at least is assisting me in referring to people who can handle my
I understand that as well, Farlito,
bullshit.
but at the same time, we don't actually have anyone here from that part of the world. If Spoken Mind, who I do believe is either Dutch or Finnish or some shit.
She's Dutch.
Okay, cool. If if we were able to get somebody like that in here and explain, we might be able to, get to the It sounds really dumb that a bunch of Americans are weighing in on European with at least one person over there. So yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, Farlito, if we'd like to throw out buttons and we'd like to continue that conversation from the other day, I think I could have a rational. I will give you the talking floor. You will have to go for that one, buttons. But I definitely
What?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Cool. No, that's fine.
No. I know I have a hot take, and I'm not willing to fucking say it in front of people.
Well, there
until
are ways. There are absolute gentle ways of applying that and saying, hypothetically, theoretically, this is just
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, fine.
Don't
No.
even.
So here's let me get hold it.
No.
So what you're saying is you have too much conviction and character to do it the pussy way, which means you want to do it. Yeah. No, you shouldn't. You totally shouldn't. I just wanted to tempt you there.
Roll one. Your audience.
Yeah. So basically, you're looking to stream on Heart's Progress, or if I'm trying to think what other channels. Queer Kids, is that the channel you'd like to stream from? And maybe get the.
This is not a topic for that even.
Okay.
You seem very strongly opinionated about it last night.
No,
I'm
you're not
just
gonna
saying.
get on that one. No.
I mean, it's an opinion which has come after like.
See, here's the whole problem with this, buttons, is that you want to charge that one with 110 miles an hour. I know that I could go with the lightest of touch, and the facts will speak for themselves.
I think I was pretty reasonable in the call last night.
Yeah, I mean, everyone had
normally buttons
really
I grade on a
and I can respect that.
I grade on a curve typically normal, but I'm just trying to say if I really thought that I would be able to wake up far later with this, which I know isn't the case, I'd push it more, and I'm just fucking with him a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know. I'm not gonna push it either.
Fartlato's intelligent enough where I'm assuming he's just intelligent enough where he has to learn it the hard way. Okay, you know what? Fine, me too. Have fun with that.
I understand.
Yeah. It's just like that one MGTOW guy who basically said, I don't care if fucking people look at that drawn pedophilia, and then he took the video down.
Oh yeah, that guy, the one that you did the video
Raging
on.
Golden Eagle. I'm still not letting that go. I'm gonna remember that name into the heat death of the universe.
Just on your deathbed, you're gonna whisper, "Let Raging Golden Eagle know I was right."
I won. Yeah.
You list off the name of everyone you were right about and just say, tell them I was right. Then you die. Your will just has small sections of.
Well, again, there's things you'd be like, oh, again, Farlito, the ways that you would be like, I read this interesting article that I may or may not agree with.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, there's so many ways to say something controversial without being controversial about it.
Yeah.
Oh, a spoken mind said, healthcare is very good here, but I don't know about mental.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, mental health and physical health are kind of under the same umbrella when it comes to insurance. I mean, that's how my insurance is, at least. So.
Are they still going over there? Let me take a peek. Yeah, they're still going. Fucking, it's Brony Brony Inspector.
Brony Inspector. Hateful and Alex.
I made myself a sandwich yesterday, and I hope the bread didn't get soggy.
Let's see if we get.
Also, if anyone wants to know a couple good tricks to help keep bread from getting soggy, if you're making a sandwich to bring to work for the next day, don't put tomatoes next to the bread. Don't put really soft or liquidy things that you would put in your sandwich next to the bread, and lightly toast your bread because that will make it more crispy.
I'm imagining Alex sitting there, scribbling it down as fast as he can.
Skype really likes to crash on me.
I'm sorry. Well, I didn't kick you, so. Got it.
No. Oh. Literally, I clicked something and the entire thing just crashed.
Yeah.
Skype does that. New Skype sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you work at Subway or something? But actually, no. But I did get a job interview this Thursday. I'm hoping I get the job.
Oh, me? No, I
Nice.
don't work at Subway. I just like making sandwiches.
You know what? I'm gonna make a suggestion here for Event Horizon. If you're looking for cartoons for a hot take, I'd like to hear Horizon, even if he shits on it. His thoughts on She-Ra, just because.
Oh, I love it. I love the new She-Ra.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
it is.
It's so good.
She-Ra is a-okay.
Anthony and I have
pretty
been
solid.
binging it.
Yeah, I was falling asleep during that last episode. I might need to go back through that one again.
Oh yeah, no, we can watch that. You want to watch that later after stream?
No, yep, sometime today. We'll see.
Okay.
What's She-Ra? Princesses of Power. It's a freaking kind of like a He-Man show, kind of sort of, except there's no He-Man in it. There used to be. It's like a redo or whatever the hell. It's something like people like Leo Convoy go and go, ooh. So, yeah.
I love Katra. I love her.
Yeah.
Do all the
Buttons-
names end in Ra?
No.
No.
Good.
There's
Wait, what? They don't? That's
No,
a fucking
there's-
ripoff.
There's
Kodak.
Bo, there's Perfuma, there's Entrappa, there's there's
The captain, whatever his name is.
Seahawk.
Okay. God, there are a lot of screw ups on the show. That's why it's really fun.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so far you named like 2 or 3 characters whose names didn't end in ah.
It's because they're the princesses. The princesses have the ah at the end.
Fluffin' Azura, Katra is such a tsundere.
You're not wrong.
There's a couple of them on the show. There's a couple of them.
Okay, Anthony and I were watching the show one night, and we're watching the episode with when they first introduced Seahawk, and me and Anthony look at each other. Bo's gay, isn't he? And then Anthony looked at me. He's like, "Wait a minute. How was the first hit not the fact that he snuck into her room every night, and the mother didn't have an issue with it?"
Yeah, I thought that was obvious.
I didn't think it was obvious. I didn't want to be like the person who's LGBT. Oh, there's gonna be a gay couple in this. I didn't want to be like that person, but like I was like, yeah, these guys are kind of gay for each other. Like Scorpia is gay AF for Katra.
I don't know. I think fucking Scorp is just mostly goony. It's hard to tell.
I mean, she kind of blushed when they were at the like getting dressed for the prom. I love.
Were they
Katra.
dressing in the same room?
No, when she came down the stairs and like when I had that moment where she came downstairs in her prom dress and she saw Katra in her suit, which by the way, I love the suit. It's so cool. I love like females who can wear a suit and be like I love that.
Oh, I know what I could do.
May I, as a local LGBT community, give you a hot take about lesbians wearing suits?
Yes.
If a lesbian wears a suit, she's the top.
Oh my god.
I mean, oh, son of a bitch. they
So
killed it.
wait. I have a dilemma here though. What if they're both wearing suits?
There's
That
sandwiches,
happens.
I guess.
What's up? What's up, peeps?
So,
You
Hey, gamer.
tolerate each other. It's weird, but it happens.
Right.
Scorpia
I'll
is a
Max-
sweetheart.
Boy, Max just got here, so I'm not gonna stay in the call long. But I just wanted to pop in and just like, yeah, I'm not because Anthony wanted me to come back. I just wanted.
I was
say,
just
like,
about to pop back over there. How'd it go?
I can't stay.
All right, you're lagging it out, boss.
He's slowly becoming a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have my good graphics card at the moment since the damn thing fried out, and I gotta wait on the fine people at what's the damn name of
Best
this?
Buy.
No, this isn't a Best.
Ivica.
It's called
Office Depot.
not Nvidia, but EVGA.
EVGA?
Yeah, now you got it. Yeah. You can't. They won't sell you a fucking warranty for graphics cards because they don't last long, and mine fried out after like 6 months, and I was like, oh, fantastic. They're like, well, there's 2 ways you could do it. You could send yours in, wait for us to replace it, or you could do this thing where you give us the money up front, and we find out everything's cool, we refund the money. I'm like, we're not doing that one. And I'm like, unless I could send you that money in, and then I could upgrade. They're like, you could do that in the first 3 months. You're already over that. And I'm like, oh, no. I was like saying, if I'm willing to get something new, I might do something like that. But for the same damn thing that I'm supposed to have, no, fuck off.
Oh, yeah, speaking of computers, have you been hearing about the dumb shit Epic Games has been doing?
Yes, I have heard about the dumb shit that Epic Games.
Oh,
what are they
Jay
doing?
Sterling's been
Okay,
talking about the sale
hang
thing.
on.
Go ahead.
Have they told you about the Linux branch of Unreal Tournament?
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Okay, so the Linux branch of Unreal Tournament has closed. You know what they did in closing it?
What?
They made the entire branch public, including the credentials of all contributors. Like shit that they could then use that people then started to use to brute force accounts.
Meaning? I'm a little plebbish.
Basically what they did was like it included personal information which could be used to like
Blackmail to your degree.
to break into people's accounts on the site which hosted the Linux branch of Unreal Tournament. But that's not the only shit going
So they
on with
ended up
this.
doxing people too. On top of this, what it sounds
Yeah.
like. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, on top of closing what was perfectly fine. On top of that, Epic Games owns Easy Anti-Cheat.
Mm-hmm.
The Easy Anti-Cheat Linux port has been discontinued. Rocket League was recently purchased by Epic Games. They've backed out of canceling the Steam version, but the Linux branch has also ended. So yeah, that's some pretty fun times.
But isn't a lot of that support through like your web browser thing, like when we talked about like Ubuntu and the other shit that you were talking about, or
no, this is like native Linux support is going out the window.
But isn't there a lot of independent support on Linux?
Yeah, there is, but it's never as good as the native support could easily be.
All you're doing is scaring a pleb like me from wanting to use Linux. Now I understand. Yeah, I know, and I say this from
Well,
a place.
see, and that's what fucking sucks.
No, yeah,
what you're seeing is
yeah.
like
I
the
say this from
CEO
a
of
place
Epic.
love.
The CEO of Epic's mindset with this is all like what he said like last year is like using Linux is kind of like moving to Canada because you don't like the U.S. political atmosphere, and he clearly feels like he should be acting according to that instead of providing support for all platforms.
I was about to say, like, I know that you're
I'm
gay.
pretty sure
I know you're gay for
physicists-
Linux, and I respect that. That's cool. And Linux is it's good to have a fucking alternative. Alternatives, more variety in life is fucking great. That's wonderful. So that's why, yeah, go ahead. I've heard enough other things from fucking. They were offering sales for companies that didn't want them, that would screw up like pricing and shit like that, and they would say, "Oh, we'll reimburse this," or if we're gonna do this, we're gonna kick this person off the platform here, and it does sound like a giant clusterfuck. I've been.
Oh yeah, that's.
Did that new
disaster?
The spiritual successor to Fallout finally come out over there? That's the only game I was kind of even remotely interested in.
Which one was that?
I know that there's some kind of. From the actual people who worked on Fallout and Fallout New Vegas, that there's a video game that they're putting out soon, but Epic bought it. So if you want to play it, you're either gonna go to Epic or you're gonna eat a big shit sandwich. Hi Leo.
It's type pirate.
Hey Leo.
Hi Leo.
I just figured I'd pop in for a second, see what the haps was.
Oh, we already touched on Panzer and said that we've all had enough of the Panzer show.
No kidding. So
Yeah.
what happened to this Alex kid?
I think he fucked off. He was on Discord. I think like we talked to him enough. I know they threw a barrel link at him, so
Pussy.
I'm pretty sure
Pussy.
he's not gonna go. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna go.
No, I'd imagine not. I think he's a scared little boy.
He started
Despite being-
crying in stream.
Oh my god! Over what?
Because he calls his mom a bitch.
Did I? It said something.
Yeah,
I don't even
he
remember.
said he came from a long line of bitches or something like
Yeah,
that.
I said your dad's a bitch, your grandfather's a bitch, your bitches throughout
my
the generations. Yeah, if I said mom, I did. Okay, fine. I wasn't really thinking about it. It just he started being all whiny about shit, and I was like, look, I don't know your mom. You shouldn't care what I think.
No.
If I
No,
knew her
you
and I
should-
said
the
in my
heck?
expert opinion.
If some stranger on the internet called your mother a bitch, why are you crying and getting offended over it? Be like, you don't know her, fuck off.
He started screaming too, like he legitimately started going full autism, and I thought I was sensitive. Jesus Christ!
Jesus.
Wow,
Damn.
Farlito, wow. We need to
Jumping
work on
have to
Jesus
watch that later.
Christ on a pogo stick.
Wow, okay, Carl Gon, you need to chill out there.
What?
You heard me. I'm
What
implying.
the fuck did I even say? Did I just
you're
like fucking
oh,
Freudian slip or
the
whatever?
minute when Button said, even I'm that bad, and Farlito's like, oh god, someone worse than Buttons. That's how I took it. And then I called you Carl Gon because that's the kind of level of diplomacy I saw in that.
I admit I'm a bit of a baby, but I think I've gotten like tougher over the years.
And I'm confused that he's basically saying, he's gonna get you in spoken mind. One, there is no me in spoken mind. That is not a ship. We are not together. She's not in my camp. Spoken's off doing Spoken's thing. That is some imaginary, illusionary bullshit. Yeah, nope, you're good, Spoken. Spoken has a boyfriend. I'm sure they're very happy. Wonderful.
What the fuck are you even going on about? You lost me, like.
There you go.
Right as you started speaking.
From what I understand, that's not hard to do.
Okay. Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
All right. So
wow.
I may have told,
swear to God, I'm smart. I swear.
I may have told Leo about what you were talking about the other day, Farlito. We might talk about that when we're off stream, then I suppose.
We're not talking about that on stream.
No,
that's my only rule.
No, I got it.
I actually have to bounce here in a minute. I just wanted to hop on and call that guy Alex a pussy because he didn't show. But yeah, we'll talk about Forledo perhaps at another time. I heard he did something dumb or said something dumb, but we'll double back on that when we have more time.
We're not doing that in public.
Why not?
Because this is one of those things where I'd rather not have a shit show in public.
So you want me to come downstairs and look at you and say, Forledo, let's go to my study. Is that what you want me to do?
Moral Oral's dad is talking
really
Clay Puffington.
If you want to come down from, the roof of my dormitory because there is no 7th floor, and
I make stairs.
Indeed. Jesus.
All right, we'll talk
Lio,
later.
if you do that, can I join you in your study and watch?
Dude.
No.
Aww.
Okay, voyeur.
Yeah, no comment. Take it easy, guys.
See ya.
Lord Almighty.
I am glad that I had a little bit of a talk with Farledo, where at least he has enough common sense not to take that public. I offered it first, and I talked you out of it because I was like,
this is one of those takes which, given this audience, is ridiculously hot, like hotter than me, and that's fucking saying something.
Oof. I'm not sure that you should take that specific fucking category and equate it with your hotness. That is a very weird crossed over mixed message.
I think he meant hot, like hot-headed.
Oh no! I thought I think he was making a furry joke there, and I was like, "That's a very weird. That's a very weird segue. That is a very weird.
One can interpret it as they wish.
No,
I thought he meant like his own physical attractiveness, and I was like, I've never seen your face, so I cannot judge this.
I assumed hot-headedness immediately.
No, I assumed that he went from the group is hot, and he's like reverting it as a clever ho I'm hot furry.
Hateful says, "Do you regret what you said, or do you stand by it?"
No, I've already tried that, Hateful, and he's smart not to do it in stream. I did offer though. There's a sick part of me. There'd be some. You know what? I'd almost.
If you want me to, if you guys have already spread this like fucking wildfire, I'll say this.
No.
Hold it.
Let me.
Farledo.
Yeah, Farledo.
I know nothing about what you guys are talking about.
All right, there's a difference here, Farledo. There is a massive difference between every butthole and their mom knows about shit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like for example, that weird Tumblr post that a certain redhead made. Everyone and their mom knows about that behind the scenes. Nobody in public knows about that
Wait,
shit.
what happened?
You've been told, Buttons. I'm just not going to remind it now in public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like love knows no age, that crazy bullshit.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
Okay, see, at least Farlow has the right answer on that one.
Yeah, the action itself is wrong. People need fucking help.
Farledo, do you need a hug?
I mean, I'll take it.
I will give you a hug in DMs. Also a cupcake. What type of cupcake do you want?
Dude.
Yes.
Yes, that's the one.
So, all the cupcake?
It's true.
Yes.
I still went on that discussion. No, Hateful, I don't think anyone's in doubt except for Farledo about the right decision there. I know he's really sitting there thinking that we're all NPCs for disagreeing with him.
You know what I find hilarious? I find hilarious he said that we're NPCs, and Sargon said the same thing. I want to...
No, that's why I pulled that stream up, and in the video says, "What is optics?" And I compared him to Farledo before I even clicked on the video. I was like, I think you should pay attention. Optics do matter a little bit. It's having a little bit of common sense.
Yeah.
Especially when you're if you ever do make that argument in public, for God's sakes, don't mention you're a furry.
Yeah.
For their benefit and yours.
Yes.
No one's gonna want to look at furries. Like you're not gonna help the image.
If you're some lone crazy college student who makes that, they're like, oh, whatever.
I mean, you want me to finally snap and give a hot take? Here you go. Weird fetish shit is actually protecting the furry fandom from the consumerist oblivion that it could face otherwise.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so let me try and dissect that one. No, because there's enough weird fetish shit in Brony. They just have enough common sense when to shut up about it.
Yeah.
Well, Well, the thing with
Yeah.
Brony is that it's literally based around something which is already within consumer culture. You're already consuming a television show and the fandom surrounds around that. Furry is far less centralized. It's not based in consumerism. It's based in more identity.
It's
it's like you know how nerd culture used to be a fucking thing, like, and how there was all that like merchandise and all this dumb clothing shit, and everyone was trying to like do this bougie ass fucking nerd look because we were told
capitalism
nerds are
sucks,
cool and
commie,
whatever.
we got it.
Yeah, like
movie Bob.
the fact that furry has all those like weird fetish like things like is a bit of a buffer. It's a wall between like consumerist oblivion.
No, let me give you a hot
No.
take here. All that weird fetish shit is still in Brony. The only thing that separates it is those people fucking animals at cons and shit.
Yeah.
Basically. What's that? You're relying on those people as the buffer. What was that one dude that fucking, when we were talking to Peppermint Coyote, he mentioned some really fucking weird guy that was like even a
Lusky.
Yeah, was it Arlovsky or what?
It was a Lusky, yeah.
Arlovsky.
I
would not. Yeah, if your fucking goddamn fandom's purity in purest form is being held up by people like Kiro and Arlovsky, you need to reconsider your fucking values, son.
Yeah, you need to reconsider your fandom and what you want to be representing.
I'm not saying whether it's positive or not. I'm just simply saying that that's the conditions that exist.
And
you seem too glib and amused by that, though.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Like, the sound of your voice.
It's amusing in a way. Like it's absolutely fucking horrible, and yet
Fetishes are fascinating.
There's a big difference between like you're
not
not laughing it off like Medicare. You're laughing it off like rubbing your hands together, going good.
Yeah. Like I
the
heard
Emperor.
some vindictive.
I get I've been called a Jew already before here, but Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, one. If anybody calls you a Jew or the N-word, I'm fucking around. Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea how you manage your money. I'm assuming like a schmuck. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I'm kind of sometimes in the red.
I think you're probably more like an N-word with your money, if you know what I mean.
Hateful says, so go and do something about it. You seem a bit content with that stance, Farledo.
I mean, I'd like to see.
I would absolutely not go into barrel and make that argument if I were you, because that will definitely get recorded.
I don't know if I even have a capacity to do that. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just amused morbidly by the way that things are.
You know, when people are morbidly amused by something that's kind of...
No, Buttons. It's alright to be morbidly amused, but it's generally, like, if you're morbidly amused and you're kind of against something... Farledo, you seem pleasantly morbidly amused with it, like, oh,
yeah, it's
I like
creepy.
how that turned out. No,
like this, like, I'm not talking about, like, the pedophiles or any of that, like, even just the regular weird shit, like, the shit that isn't illegal or ethically questionable in a more general sense.
So let me put it this way. Vor isn't keeping furry independent because it's in Brony.
Yeah, no, like there's shit in
Micro
every
Macro
fandom.
isn't keeping free independent because again, all those weird little kinks can be attached to literally anything else. The only thing that's probably keeping people away from touching furry are like people murdering dogs, having sex with dogs, and doing like really, really screwed up things are basically what's keeping people the hell away, or like, you know, well, not keeping it's not keeping furry out of the news, so to say. It's keeping.
Hey, someone just added me on Skype. Who is Live Adam and 20099?
I have no idea. Do your own screening.
They said I wish to speak with Anthony, please.
Right now?
Right
No.
now?
Put him in.
Do you want me to add them to
I
the
haven't
call?
talked to them yet. I don't know. It could be somebody I don't want to speak to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that could be
this?
That could be the Blacktooth Scourge for all I know.
Yeah. How did they even get my Skype? Who the fuck is this? This is Alex.
I already talked to Alex fucking long enough.
We already talked to you.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
if you have buyer's remorse right now, Alex, that's tough shit. I'm sorry.
He blocked me on Discord, but messaged me on Skype.
Well, that's retarded.
By the way, Farledo, check your DMs.
Yeah, I noticed.
Alright, so Hateful asks right here, if I put you in charge of a con, Farlito, would you do everything in your power to keep the pedo and other people like him out of the con? Simple question.
Oh no.
That is an extremely charged question.
I
Involves
will answer.
a
Here's
very, very complex answer,
I'll
which
answer.
would likely infuriate half of the people who are watching.
Here's what I would say.
Wait.
If I were hold
Wait.
hold
Isn't the question if you...
hold on there. Let me do this one. If I were in charge of a con, if I felt that I could refuse him entry without getting sued, I would do so. If I was unable to refuse him entry, if I were unable to fulfill that to the best of my knowledge, I would pass the buck and relieve myself from my duty and find someone else that would. Now, granted, that person might go down the drain because of that, but I would make sure old boy wouldn't get in. I would find me a fall guy and a sucker who'd be like, okay, no, I'll be glad to get sued. Or at least I'd have that intention.
I mean, it also depends on the type of venue that it is. It depends on the size of the convention.
So
it depends on the kind of things that are going on at the convention. It's a very it requires a lot more concrete data for me to give you a straight answer.
I'd like to respond here, Dr. Dictator. Vor is present in every fandom. I don't believe you. Well, I don't sit there and peruse it to double check it every day. I'm making a generalization.
The difference between furry and brony is that the subject matter of furry is not already consumerist in nature. Where brony, you're already consumerist. You're literally just fans of a Hasbro thing.
I just know it's everywhere because when I was on Tumblr, it was places I didn't want to see.
There are shows for Alito, such as Agretzico and that one movie, fucking Zootopia, which are very, very, very furry baited. You know, they're a furry's wet dream, but they're still out in the public. I don't like. There's a difference. Like, furries have had to work long and hard to try and mend any kind of a bridge with our cons going out. It's why when things like Lost Pegasus went bad, the people banded together to help get money to the show staff so they could get the fuck out of there. Whereas I probably assume furries less so.
Furry is a lot more decentralized, which is probably for the better, quite honestly.
If you had people in charge who had some kind of, I guess, standards? Yes, standards is the word we're looking for here. Some kind of standards, whatever those might be. For better or for worse, I think it would improve, at least in some way, shape, and form.
Uber Blue Dragon says, if I was on con chair, I wouldn't want the liability of having a pedo around a con where kids are welcomed.
I wouldn't want the PR. That's fucking horrifying.
Yeah. See, the issue that I would have is that you would need to be able to separate kids from adults in a way which is responsible, in a sense. Like, obviously, if a parent and a child ended up getting a hotel room in order to go to the convention, they will need to be able to gain access to that area. And the issue is that if you have adults who are not that child's guardian who is accompanying them, you have to make sure that that's something which was approved of beforehand, and that's a logistical nightmare.
What I would have said to this is I would have gave the con staff two alternatives: ban him, ban kids from the convention. You can absolutely ban kids. You can absolutely make it an 18+ convention. Don't bullshit me.
That's what Eurofurence did, and I don't see why furry cons aren't doing the same. Like, Eurofurence,
that's a lot of money you're throwing on the floor. I agree with them doing it, but
really. Look, here's the fact of the matter. Like, kids maybe make up not a lot of any con.
0%.
It's almost all adults.
It's all going to be bullshit. Like, even if you said 10%.
Is it 30%?
I don't have no idea. I'm doing it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
I have no idea.
I can look it up.
For much of the footage, you see that it's very much, maybe you have people who are like 18 and 19, but they're still legally adults.
Let me give you a little tip there about that. Even if it's only 10%, I hate to quote the Black Tooth Scourge about this, especially about BronyCon. Looking at your numbers, you can't really afford to throw that money on the floor.
Yeah. Well, technically, you have to remember there are certain types of furries who
have remember
a massive amount of surplus, and they have nowhere to put that surplus, and they're willing to pay for a $3,000 convention.
I'm also willing to say I've heard rumor from Brony Inspector who said that Growly was probably noted for probably paying a bit more to get his way in there. That gives me all the pause in the world. if you're willing to pay that much to get in there, why do you want in there so bad?
I mean, you could get sponsor status, or you can get, you could get sponsor status. There's probably, like, I don't want to buy into sensationalist woo right away. No. Like, he's there, big whoop.
I definitely saw how much fucking backlash there was in there. Look, I was curious about that con. Brony Inspector talked about it, and I was like, I know that they had what's his name? The guy who was hanging out with Kiro and Snake Thing.
Sanji?
Yes, Sanji. No, Wolf's Cuban. No. Sanji was there last year, I think.
And in jail.
Yeah. Was it there or fucking?
Sanji also there?
No, Sanji wasn't at BLFC. He was
Not
at.
this year. Was he there last year though?
I can look up.
Yeah.
Probably.
And that's I'm noticing a pattern of behavior, and from what I've seen online, Sanji has not changed. I think we've all seen the videos. Sanji's up to being Sanji. So all the paws of Anthony. That's not as bad a Steps joke as him calling me for no good reason.
And Reneg, I did my research on Growly, and I do believe that if they can find that it is not reasonable within their ideas of what safety is for kids to remove him, then they can probably find a way to explain that they don't have the logistical capacity to watch over him.
I would also feel a lot more comfortable if they actually made it public in the interests of transparency. If he paid more to be in there.
Yeah, like
I would feel really comfortable knowing that. And you know what? If they decided,
here's the thing. Cons, you have your basic entry fee, but then you can also pay for like extra stuff. So like if you're a sponsor, you can usually get the sponsors lounge or whatever. And then there's like higher and higher levels.
But why would he pay so much money to get there?
You want to get some. You basically want the special privileges of like
Yeah, it's basically like he wants to be a super sponsor. Yeah.
Well,
so
how much? How much did he pay, like compared to normal price?
Probably the difference between normal and whatever tier of sponsorship
I'll
you
answer
win.
that for you, Hateful. Hateful asked, is he a convicted offender for Leto?
Yeah, he is.
Sanji and what's his name was
Growly.
Yeah, Growly.
Yeah, they're both on the registry. Sanji, there was much voiced intent, so it was far more reasonable to ban him.
But yeah, there's also Sanji's actually a vendor. Why are you even keeping Growly? Like, he's a nobody.
Well, see, Bad Dragon's also a vendor, and they haven't, faced anything at all.
Well, let's be honest. Bad Dragon's
nobody's got the balls to go up against
Well,
Marco.
Bad Dragon's
They'll sue your
company.
ass. No, we all know that Bad Dragon will sue your ass. I've been told as much.
Bad Dragon. The thing about Bad Dragon is an established, well-known company. As disagreeable as it is for them being there. And another thing is like Growly is an individual who has committed atrocious crimes.
Yeah. Let's put it this way: before I fell apart with Indigo Bang, she was starting to point me at Bad Dragon, and towards the end, they're like, "No, drop it. We don't want the legal repercussions." And I kind of noticed that too. I got kind of paranoid where I was like, okay, so the more I'm finding out Bad Dragon, they like to sue people. Two, they kind of gave me the information first, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll wait for Indigo Bang's fucking article. Then it didn't come, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing this. This information looks good, but at the same time, and I'm comfortable and I'm mostly confident that I can use a lot of neutral, allegedly, and this, that, and the other. But you know what, I don't want to go head to head with again, if this information's already out there too.
And another thing is, they wouldn't even let their con attendants know about Growly being a pedophile and being around chips so that they could they would delete the tweets.
I believe they made an initial tweet addressing the matter, and then they didn't.
But then it got buried by other tweets.
They didn't want to fucking have other shit fucking pop up there, and they started fucking policing it. That rubbed me entirely.
Also, you have to recognize the chance of mass hysteria. So
I would. Well, I mean,
that's about the optics. Come on,
you get mobs, and then people start doing shit.
I wouldn't be opposed to there being mass hysteria about a pedophile. I would not be opposed to people being worried for the safety of their children.
Let me do the devil's advocate for Farlito on this one. You're running a con, right? You are legally responsible for the behavior at that con. Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
Yeah,
you'd be the one. If they drag him out and someone beat him to death and he had surviving family members, they could sue the convention. There's a lot of ifs
That is
there.
correct.
Yes, I understand that, but I would have never let him in.
Yeah, exactly. You could prevent that.
the issue is that if you can't show that he has intent to, do anything, it's possible that there would be a case for him to sue.
Like I said, hateful. I
him.
said, yeah.
But
if he did wind up getting murdered, maybe he has family members, or maybe it would have to be someone part of his estate to sue, because you can't sue on someone else's behalf unless you're like immediate family. Who knows? Maybe Growly's even married. As unlikely as that is, it's possible.
But then why would they even let him at the convention if they just wanted to? Why couldn't they just prevent that entire thing from happening in the first place?
Again, there's the speculation that he may have been a more higher paid ticket sponsor. Where if I found out that it specifically was $70-$80, that'd be pretty goddamn lazy. Goddamn.
Like, say I'm Dragoneer, I'm running FA. I've officially banned cub porn, and Zausch has decided, he's not gonna respect that, and he still posts cub, but it's getting mondo views. I'm Dragoneer. I'm gonna keep that motherfucker there because he's making me money.
Well, hold it. There's no, hold it. Let me talk about that. You said that he's still posting it. Now, is he posting it on his website or is he offering it at the con?
Zausch?
Like, okay, we're doing
on FA.
Hold it. Yeah, we're talking strictly as a hypothetical. I thought FA.
No, this is literally reality. Zausch was allowed for quite a while to post cub on FA, and Dragoneer kind of just didn't give a shit because it was making him money.
Oh, I was thinking, was Zausch a vendor?
No, but he's an artist.
Oh.
See, the difference with the situation is someone is in real life around children.
Well, I'm still trying to put this into context here. When you said that they banned cub porn, does that mean literally any artist who specifically has ever drawn it would be banned from the convention?
The content specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, but Zausch was posting such content.
And they just didn't enforce it.
Yeah,
that's why I was a bit confused.
The banning of cub porn on FA means basically if you have an Ink Bunny account, it screams "I like cub porn."
Oh, speaking of which, the skunk who runs fucking
Ink Bunny?
No, the skunk who fucking the one I mentioned before who runs fucking Biggest Little Fur Con. He does have an Ink Bunny account.
Ooh.
Well then.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot past. There was an older character hugging tails, but it wasn't sexual, I suppose. But the fact
was it from Rory?
Let me look up the damn name. I'll just go to fucking Burn Inspectors.
Because honestly, if you could just give me that image, I know the style. Oh, man.
It's Tycho Skunk, and if you went to WikiFur, it would. Oh wait, actually, he gave me the full thing. Tycho WikiFur Encyclopedia. You should be able to find it on here, Farleto. Send message. Now, again, I typically don't, and I think I have that in the script where I was like, I didn't find anything.
There we go.
Yeah, he didn't have a fetish list. There's a couple of obviously weird, and if you're looking just to tear into Tycho Skunk, you'll find stuff. But there wasn't anything that made me go,
Oh, that's Wolfblade. That's a cub artist.
Okay. There you go.
How do you know? Never mind.
When you're in the furry fandom long enough, you just happen to develop knowledge of these things. You start to know what artists are who, and artists become notorious, just like characters.
Let me give you one, Buttons. As a former member of the Pony Fuck cast, whenever someone in the room, there's certain people who will mention certain names, and I'm like, you need to drop that name. Now, by me acknowledging that I know what I do looks bad upon me, but I can also get them to shut up.
No, I get that.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Like, there's certain names which just get associated with cub because they do primarily cub.
Zausch, for example.
Zausch, Wolfblade, Rory. Who else? That's the only three that I can name off the top. Right, Swizzle. Swizzle does cub as well.
Oof.
See, this is where Commander Wolfie would come in handy, and I have to tell Buttons to take a walk. I'm not shit-talking. I'm just saying, if we were going to sit there and heckle the con, I'd need somebody who would know the staff members, or, sadly enough, the Burning Donut would probably know those.
Yeah, I'm more an ideologue than someone who has knowledge of furry at this point.
Hateful.
What is it, hateful? Let's see. I know we had an argument on values here for later on. I'm just saying it isn't really feasibly moral or financial. All I'm saying. Yeah. It's generally a poor idea that they decided to sit there and do that. Now, is it possible? Let's say maybe they thought about it early on. Oh, Commando is on the front lines too, Anthony. Oh, you mean Commander Wolfie?
Yeah. Risk. Like, here's the thing: it's risk mitigation, and risk mitigation is far more complex and above my pay grade. But I'm going to act like a dumbass and still try to have my own stance on it.
Well, here's what I'm going to say that they probably happened early on. I'm going to assume that he bought a high tier thing and they made up their mind early on, okay, we're going to let him in. And then the backlash happened and they said, welp, we already lit. Yeah, that's probably where they would have, once they've already agreed to let him in, they've kind of made their bed and they had to fucking follow through with it. But they should have never done that in the first place. That's
yeah,
my
sort of
big
like how Foxler ends up being allowed at cons still.
I think Foxler's more of a dumb, retarded fucking meme where I'd feel comfortable with like one or two.
Foxler's...
Didn't he? He's the guy. No, he's the guy who slept with a 16-year-old.
Wait, has he really? I know.
No, he admitted to saying in a recording one time after the live stream with Anthony saying, "Oh yeah, I had the best sex of my life with a 16-year-old once in North Carolina."
There's an argument.
How old was he at the time?
Well, hold it. Well, no. Well, hold it there, Farleto. Okay. Now, you could simply end off my question with, I'm not comfortable answering that, which is going to be loaded as hell to say that. Foxler did say, after our stream, when Hateful kind of brought it to our attention, and said, the best sex of my life, this came out of Foxler's mouth, was having sex with a 16-year-old. He said it fondly. I have that recorded. I've also played that off in the Snake Thing fucking goddamn video I did.
Just cut to the chase.
Yeah. When you talk about, we need to see that they get help first. I think that there's if more pedophiles were more honest, I think that there's a bit more Foxler in them, is what I suspect. And if you're saying that I'm generalizing, well, maybe so. There you go.
See, that seems to be conflating the act and the actual like paraphilia itself, because it's got very psychological roots, and you need to. It's something where you really do need psychological help, and it's through assistance from a professional that you can learn to sort of cope with having such attractions if you do have them.
Okay, so it's like this. There's a difference between saying a Zmaush or whatever his name is, or say some schmuck who says, I don't know, Shatman's my favorite art. Sorry, I had to get that dig in there. When you talk about it being your favorite, I don't have a DSM-5. I'm not a medical professional, but I think that people should just eyeball people like that a little bit more, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you like Cub or whatever, for whatever reason, it's important to figure out how the hell you ended up there.
I've gone back and forth on this a couple damn times from like a let's say I had this really brained retarded argument in my head while I was at work because I'm there for 12 hours not doing a lot, and it's the argument whether fucking does like, I don't know, let's say ERP counts or not, and I just the more and more I sat there and fucking looked at it doesn't count for this reason, or it counts for this reason, and I drove myself fucking nuts trying to even play it fair. I don't know. I'm not medical enough, but I know that basically you should discourage certain fucking behaviors, and it just seems to fucking be the right move to do.
See, here's the thing with a lot of sexual situations with like a minor and an adult, there's almost always a power imbalance. The adult holds all the authority over the kid just by virtue of their age, and that's why basically any sexual interaction with minors is troublesome, to say the least.
Yeah. I see. The thing with the help thing, though, is there are people who won't even admit what they did, or will say, I don't have an issue or something, or they don't want help. Like, there's a reason that we don't have these services is because I don't know how to say.
Well, if we're getting to them after they've, done stuff and sort of lost the capacity to be conscious of, that they have that paraphilia. They're just that far gone. At that point, all you really can do is just, put them in a place where they won't be a danger to society effectively. What needs to be done is something that's more proactive, remove all the pressure people might feel, because coming out and being like, I might have this attraction to kids is not something which you can say and then be able to keep a lot of your, dignity in a sense. It's really frowned upon, and
it's illegal.
There's a lot of there's a
Well,
lot of social pressure
it's illegal.
which keeps it bottled.
Hold it. Let me try to do this.
There's a lot of social pressure which keeps them bottled up, and because of that, it can lead to individuals who would not have otherwise done it. They end up not being able to cope with these urges to the point that they become such a severity that they do act upon them, when otherwise, if they had received help, they would not have. There's a lot of social pressure which prevents people from really coming out and receiving the help they need.
Hold it. I've been waiting for this one. You're not getting Brony inspected here. So we notice he says, well, how does one lose the capacity of right and wrong? For example, I think it's fair, at least in my younger years. I think I still am. I'm a pyromaniac. I've had fireworks on my person now for like a couple of months. Didn't use them because just haven't had the opportunity. I have no doubt that if I were to set something ablaze, I would enjoy it. But I know that's probably a bad idea, and there's a time and place for every damn thing. The question I'm having here is if someone's able to manage their shit, why does this go out the window the minute it's children? I'm just asking.
There are some people who are pyromaniacs who don't necessarily have the same psychological fortitude to determine right from wrong. I'm not going to pretend to be a psychologist, but I know that there is a lot more than merely, being a pyromaniac and being a pyromaniac who doesn't have the conscience to not act on it. That's a lot of it. Like when you hear the term pedophile, usually people conflate the paraphilia and the action. When someone says pedophile, we generally talk about someone who has committed child sexual assault.
Because
that's easily also.
So this is where I'm going to be attempt.
That ties traditionally into how we would originally diagnose pedophilia, because it was only after people acted upon it that it was really psychologically noticeable, because we put so much social pressure onto people not to bring it up.
Yeah, and what I was trying to say a few minutes ago, Buttons, was I think when you were telling Farleto it's legal and he was talking about the social pressures, I think he was talking about the social pressures in conjunction to the lack of legality.
Well, there's nothing necessarily illegal in coming out and being like, hey, I'm a pedophile, I would like, I need professional help.
There's absolutely nothing illegal saying, I have an attraction to underage kids, I don't want this attraction, I'm trying to get help.
Yeah, there's nothing illegal about saying that. But
I agree with suit
even
yourself.
to,
You were
like,
trying to normalize it and you want to be accepted. No. You should have shut your mouth. Goddamn son.
It's not normalization. This is allowing people to come out and, be able to talk about the fact that they need help. That's the thing. Like, when people talk about depression, it's sort of the same deal. People want to be able to come out and be honest about their depression.
All right, so again, I'm going to be very...
It's not normalized.
I've been trying to be very careful here for like fucking 10, 20 minutes here, but the problem with this is, and I'm not saying, and I want to state this at the very beginning, everyone from, whether gay, straight, lesbian, whatever, has the right to pursue what they have. The problem with once that out there is that everybody else has heard that, and we can't let certain people, pedophiles, in the door. That's the problem.
Well, that's painfully reductionist.
Yeah.
But
I know. Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, by telling them
that different from what I'm trying to talk
No, I
about.
get what you're saying too, but once you tell them that it's all right for them to be them, they're going to be around everybody else. Well, everybody else gets it. It's because it's going to bombard them over the head. We live in a society where everyone's allowed to have everything else that they want. Those same people can't be in that society.
You're misunderstanding where I'm coming from entirely. Pedophilia is a psychological thing. It is a paraphilia which is resultant from some sort of psychological effect. It is something which we have recognized.
So let me
power dynamics which are generally damaging to children, and that is why we consider pedophilia as
Well,
act
let me split
to
the
be
difference
wrong.
with
But
you, if I may.
pedophilia as desire and as just that innate paraphilia is something which is psychological and can be mitigated or cope. You can cope with it. You can you could talk with a psychologist.
No,
and receive
I know you said that too. And
this
here's
is
the
a
whole thing. Yeah, no,
normalization
look,
of
okay,
pedophilia
no, I'm trying
itself.
to.
I understand exactly
I'm
what you're
about to
saying,
give you half
but
the
it's an
point here, but you're
incredibly
going to let me take the other
point.
fucking half, sir. Here's the problem. You sat there and said, okay, there's people who are not in charge of that. Okay, so am I allowed to burn at the stake any pedophile who's able to have a regular relationship, since they have alternatives and yet they decided to fuck kids? You're not going to give me that. You just don't want to. You just don't want to. You just don't want to fucking do it.
That's an incredibly charged question.
No, they absolutely had the opportunity to pursue a regular, healthy relationship. Under your concept, if I were to take it, hypothetically, that would be something. So, okay, fine. If you're able to do that.
So a pedophile who acts upon that urge.
You don't have to. They had alternatives if they were in other regular relationships.
Exactly. If they are a non-exclusive,
again, and when I say this too, they are
capable of a relationship with an adult, and they continue to act upon that urge. That is still
not
wrong.
What I said. No, sir. Not what I said.
Wrong.
I said to you, sir, if they, let's say, okay, cool, are we able to forever make pariahs out of pedophiles who are already married? Then you don't want to give it to it. You just don't want it. You just don't like it. It just makes you feel uncomfortable.
See, I have to split hairs with you, because you use pedophile as someone who has acted on it, when pedophile in general is a term to denote anyone with such attractions. And generally, you use a different term, such as, offender, when you talk about pedophiles who have acted upon their urges. You have innately designed to throw everyone, whether or not they have acted upon it together, into the same category, when that is a really reductionist way of
if I may say, out of every pedophile that we've ever talked about, heard, what have you, I've not met one pedophile who hasn't done something. There has been one pedophile, let me finish. Every pedophile we have come across has looked at child porn or lolly or has pursued someone on or offline. I've never, everyone, you keep trying to say that there are people who don't want to act on it or just have that urge, but the thing is I've never met one of those people. I've never even I've never talked to them. I've never that's what's concerning, is you keep coming from this stance.
That sounds quite anecdotal, and it's not necessarily pertinent. You saying that there aren't pedophiles because of your own personal experience.
I didn't say that at all. I wasn't saying
exactly what you're insinuating. However, you're saying that with your personal experience, you've never met pedophiles who are quote unquote virtuous pedophiles.
That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say
Carl,
that
you're not giving any examples either.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is there's a mass volume of people, out of all the volume of the people of pedophiles we come across, why is it we've never met one that hasn't wanted to act on their urges or has that's what.
How is it you generally discover them? That's the first question.
They announce it to the world on Twitter, or they'll say they're a map. I call it pedophile.
I'm gonna probably get heat for this. My example. There was a wise man back in the day who managed to balance our budget that had this amazing thing. It was called "Don't Ask, Don't Tell." And if you're able to not molest a kid, and you're able to be a little fucked up to your head, then you should shut your mouth into the heat death of the universe and pray like hell nobody ever finds out.
And that's why "Don't Ask, Don't Tell" was an absolutely god-fucking awful policy. Anyway.
Your feels.
Farlado.
See, you have a much more feels over reals argument.
Okay, tell me why it is. Why? Why was I wrong? Tell me.
Basically, let's start out with one thing. A pedophile is not an individual who has acted. It is merely within the categories of, what pedophilia is.
Find a
individual,
non-violating, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yeah.
Find anecdotal or something, or find an actual person that exists.
One individual is.
Well, you're saying that.
Yeah, you keep saying that I don't have examples. You're not bringing any either, Carl.
A single individual is also anecdotal. That's the problem here.
Then give me a couple examples.
Yeah, give a link to an account of someone who you've talked to or you know of that has these urges that hasn't acted on them, that wants help.
Just give me a moment. I know a website for this. See if it actually... Alright. Here we are. Oh, Lord.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Hi, Steph.
Hi.
Should we ask Hateful and Patch if they both want in? Or should we run away?
What's going on?
Oh, we're talking about it without talking about it, so we're totally talking about it at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try being subtle and it just...
No, it went out the window.
Are we still streaming?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, shit.
well, here's the good news is we're 2 hours in for Lato.
Yeah. But, yeah, you can... Here, you can just look over this.
All right, let's take a look. You're welcome, Anthony. Yeah, no problem. The eyes of JonTron Alex from earlier in the chat. Fantastic. Good for him. We're talking about more important things.
Yeah.
The browser is accessed. I swear to God, this is going to get me ripped off of the internet.
Do you want me to look before you do?
It's fine.
Okay.
There's
Oh,
nothing here.
God, no. Oh, no. Welcome to Virtuous Pedophile. Is this legal
What
to
is this?
look at?
Just get
Yeah,
out of there.
It's
Get
just
out
an
of
article.
there.
It's an article. It's
Okay.
literally just an article.
Oh,
This
okay.
is literally a website for an organization. We operate a support group for pedophiles who are committed to avoiding having sexual contact with children. More than 2,000 pedophiles have signed up for the group.
Is there any proof that there's, how can you prove that they're just talking out, they're not talking out their ass?
Well, how can you prove that a member of, AA doesn't just have a bunch of bottles in his basement?
Because they usually get inspected and, checkups
Do you
and
think
shit.
that there isn't,
No.
that same kind of support for these individuals?
Buttons.
This is the thing. It's like it's along. Actually, it's quite similar to AA, where
buttons.
like
There's not that much
Buttons.
oversight in a fucking goddamn 12 steps program. So no, I would not feel
Yeah,
comfortable. A 12 steps
Do you
program.
want me to just read the article?
Can I say something
12-step
real quick?
programs are absolute horseshit anyway, and they're
Wait, let-
extremely.
Yeah, you
Elf.
just made the
Way to
cross
deal with
comparison to
addiction.
Welcome to Virtuous Pedophiles, and if you're telling me that this is a 12 steps program, which is
AA
by-
is just alcohol.
Can I say
not
something real
just
quick?
not the
No,
same.
no, no.
Just read
yeah,
the
no.
articles on the
No, no,
link
yeah,
to have it
in
open?
a second step. No, and I was about to say, basically, 12 steps program is the same huckster bullshit that Dr. Wolf peddles. Fuck off. Anyways, take it step. Hello? Did I get kicked?
No,
Okay.
you didn't get kicked.
Yes, Steph, you're up.
Talking.
Well,
But anyway,
Elf
what
wanted
I'm
to
trying
talk
to say-
actually.
Okay.
As I
Actually,
want
let Elf talk.
Yeah. Something about the AA thing and the how do you know that they're not hiding bottles in their basement? And the button said that they go and visit your house to investigate it. They don't.
No.
They really don't. My brother's been in half a dozen AA programs, drug addict programs, whatever. Your sponsors or whatever do not go to your house to make sure it's clean or anything like that.
Maybe it was just different for me
There's-
because I was in foster care. So again, maybe I'm wrong, and I apologize if that was a wrong perspective or
It also-
something. But
It also differs very widely because most AA networks are extremely diverse. So some are different from others. Maybe some more intensive ones might inspect one's home, but it all just depends on sort of the support group you have developed for yourself. This is one similar one where it might run more on honor, but for me it's like if they're receiving psychological help, and that is likely part of what is necessary to be part of sort of this group that considers themselves virtuous pedophiles, you have to be receiving some form of help and have
Wait,
some
I have
sort
an
of
idea.
accountability
Wait.
network.
I have a
in
counter argument then.
that-
Since you want to compare this to AA, people can relapse. A pedophile could relapse.
Yeah, and
My
that is-
brother has relapsed multiple times.
and
He's been a drug addict for 10 years now. Over 10 years.
and that is also relatively anecdotal. People relapse, and
I
that's
feel like there is a bit of a difference between pedophilia and alcohol
Yeah,
addiction. Because one is
pedo-
more comes from a physical thing, and pedophilia is more of a psychological thing than alcohol addiction.
well, no. See, addiction is also at its roots psychological.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, somewhat, sort of having the having the bottle to your lips is kind of in a way to the addict's mind the same as perhaps to a pedophile's mind, opening up child porn.
No.
So I have a question. Are you
technically speaking?
Hold it, Farlito. Are you suggesting that you can be addicted to something you've never done it before?
It is possible that you have proclivities which might lead to.
I do want to kind of
That's a
support
little
Farledo
different.
here.
That's a good
I do
deal
want to
different.
support Farledo here because some people can be born with addictions to things like marijuana, alcohol from their mothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, what this is not necessarily the innate addiction per se. It's
Yeah, I understand that.
proclivity towards the addiction, where once you become exposed to it, it becomes addictive.
I get that too, but again, here's the big difference with that. It is not societally shunned for most people, outside of getting really abusive, of really drinking. That's why you can find bars and liquor stores and so forth and so on.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
why.
It's it takes a bit more effort. It takes.
That's why it's so hard for pedophiles to receive help, is because simply saying, "Hey, I have this thing wrong," is enough to get shunned. Even if you haven't acted on it, it's enough to get yourself, drop kicked into tomorrow.
And another thing, Farley,
it's the problem which they are trying to address. This isn't about normalizing kid.
A counter argument that I've heard, and this isn't my viewpoint, but a counter argument I have heard that before is, how would you know if you're a pedophile if you haven't seen a picture of, I don't know, a child pornography or something once before?
Yeah.
Well, how would you know that you're into that girl across the street if you haven't seen, porn?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what I said when the argument was brought up.
That's the thing. It's like
okay.
when you
Farledo. No, hold it, Farledo. Let me
finish my point. Let
Farledo finish.
I actually do have fuck, words are hard. Anyway.
You're good.
So
Continue.
you're developing. You start going into puberty. Maybe you haven't encountered porn, but you're still going to develop an attraction towards boys or girls or whatever. The pedophiles, they do develop this sort of same attraction, but then it's like, with younger individuals, they sort of develop attractions, but it's with different individuals. It's instead of being into people their age, they find that they are getting interested in those younger than them, and that may be troublesome for some of them, but they are shunned from being able to voice, hey, I have
would you agree that, I don't know if it's the majority, but I know some of them are just people, normal, average people, for the most part, who just find some picture of some teen supermodel on the internet, wink your chicken, and then immediately close the tab? Would you agree that that's at least a percentage of pedos online or something, if you know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, there's at times a difference between someone who just looks at borderline content and people who actually have the attraction, or or you could say some people might have the attraction, but it's not exclusive.
So hold it. I did wait for you to finish that time. So first, the super chat, because the money gets to go. There is a massive lioconvoy. There is a massive difference between getting help and wanting to label yourself as virtuous for moral boosts. And in response to what I said
that's a very bad faith.
Farledo, stop interrupting.
Okay. So let's say you have a crush on someone. As an adult, if they do not reciprocate, for example, when I asked out Massacre Molly and she said no, I stopped. Does suddenly, magically, if they're younger, does that just make the wang lose all fucking common sense whatsoever? What is with that? That's fucking retarded.
No, that doesn't make it lose all sense.
The reason
is also based on some idea that pedophiles might not necessarily have the mental capacity to be able to understand the concept of consent.
Farledo, that makes them a danger.
Yes.
That makes it that means they should not be in
society. That's your own assumption. That isn't.
You literally just said they don't have the mental capacity to understand.
The statement that was just posited was predicated upon the assumption that pedophiles cannot understand consent.
Well, because Farledo, honey.
Well, you kind of interrupted him.
Yeah, let him go.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a hateful in her. Jesus.
I lost everything I was saying because I needed to make that clarification. Anyway, to Leo, virtuous pedophiles is simply a term that they're just using. That's not.
Excuse me.
God bless.
God bless.
I'm in the middle of trying to catch up on something, but I feel the need to interject here for just a moment.
Don't live your fucking life. Don't worry about people screaming on the internet. Jesus.
Excuse me.
Hurry,
I'm gonna let you sit there for a minute. I'm gonna let you reflect on what you just said because I didn't come at you. I'm gonna let you collect yourself. Take that moment. All right, are we ready?
Go ahead. I'm ready to be eviscerated.
Okay. What I am seeing here that is a problem. You are making what ifs. You are making maybes. If there is a group of people that is going around calling themselves a virtuous pedophile or talking about getting help for pedophiles, chances are they already understand the concept of consent, and hopefully, that what they are doing is immoral, either socially, theologically, or however. My issue is this. I will never, ever, ever have a problem with somebody trying to get help. Never. Never. But when you try to label your group as virtuous, knowing full well what your interests are, is diabolic in the absolute merit of what it is. That point, you are not trying to get help. You are trying to get backpats while doing nothing. And that is a problem. And you clutching your pearls for these people instead of realizing that what you are saying is at best completely ignorant and at worst extremely troubling makes me wonder if you are as bright as you think you are. And I'm not saying that to burn you. I'm saying that because this is very troubling.
Okay, let's see if I can figure out how to break this down. So, first of all, I have to ask you, define pedophile for me real quick.
Somebody that is sexually attracted to children.
Okay. Can you recognize that you are conflating actions with the mere psychological state here?
When did I say anything about actions?
It was implied within what you're saying.
Oh no, I don't imply things.
The idea that a pedophile cannot be virtuous is based upon the idea that the pedophile has acted upon their desires.
No, it's based on the fact that their desires in and of themselves are immoral. I'd tell you the same thing about a drunk.
So,
and I tell you the same thing about an abuser. I tell you the same thing about a preacher who uses his pulpit to attack people.
So can you not say that an alcoholic can be virtuous?
They cannot.
So then...
May I say something if that's all right? I had a point I want to make for a bit.
I don't know how to put into words you would be able to understand as what I want to say what I want to say. Like, you have designed your language specifically that I am incapable of actually providing you a mature and reasoned response.
No, because I don't think you're understanding the language being used, because virtue is showing moral high standards. And if you are a pedophile, you are not showing that.
Carl, stop laughing for a minute. If you lost the argument, you could always come back later.
I've not lost the argument. This is
oh my god! Forlito,
let him finish.
But I actually don't have the words to slam together to actually create a statement which would respond to you in a way that you would be able to understand within the frame of the words which you use.
May I
No. Farley.
Are you questioning whether or not I'm gonna understand the words you use?
You're getting into some Koth territory really bad there. Like when you're on.
Just let him go. Let him go.
Then I'll stop splitting hairs on the semantics and I'll just say it straight up. Because, God.
Spit it out, son.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I have to actually take a moment to collect myself. Holy shit.
Go for it.
I'd like to state for the record here that Farlito's going through some problems right now with school. I'm not saying that excuses everything. It's it's pretty dire, and yeah.
You see, one of the reasons why I hopped off is I was under the impression this wasn't going to happen right now, and yet here we are.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So you can recognize how simply saying that an individual is incapable of being any amount virtuous merely as a result of some kind of essential psychological trait is problematic, no?
No.
So, say I have addictive personality, which I definitely do. I had sexual compulsions when I was in my adolescence. I have been through therapies dealing with sexual addictions before. Does that mean that I'm incapable of being virtuous?
Currently, yes.
You're trying to conflate the problem and trying to bolster it with that other thing. It's like you're trying to say jumbo shrimp for Christ's sake.
System of morality where you have to be absolutely Puritan to be virtuous.
Do you really want me to answer that question?
Yes, because this
my
shows
right
that we have fundamentally different perspectives.
My righteousness is dirty rags. And so is every other human being on this planet. And that's where part of the disconnect you're not understanding is my ideology and my viewpoint of virtuousness is not based on some mortal man understanding, nor is it based on trying to move the goalpost to make somebody feel good about what they are when they're actually not good at all. My viewpoint on morality and whether or not a man is virtuous comes straight from the Bible. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not virtuous, neither are you. None of us are.
So I'm to sort of put psychology on the same pedestal as 10,000-year-old quackery. Is this what you are telling me?
I'm telling you.
10,000-year-old quackery.
Hold on. You can call it quackery if you want to. The problem you're having with it is it doesn't let you feel good about what and who you are. That's your problem.
Not necessarily.
No, it's clearly the issue we are having. That is the literal disengagement you and I are having on this. Because you want to be able to call yourself and other people virtuous, but not based on their own actual virtue, but because they haven't done XYZ thing that they have felt like doing. That's not virtuousness. That is not having a high moral. That's not having a high moral standard. That's having a little bit of self-control.
What then is a virtue?
May I? Here, I'm going to read this off from the chat. So I know it bothers you that a religious person would say this. So I'm going to take this from Coyote. Lovely. The problem is you're calling virtuous is that it glorifies something that ultimately creates victims when it act upon. It defecates of an ultimate...
It's a defecation of an ultimate negative...
Ultimately negative trait and negative impact. That is definitely far easier to engage with than a God Jesus argument, because
was there any reason that you had to be such a fucking insufferable prick there? I went out of my way to get you an answer where you could fucking and I'm trying to be cool. That's why I went and grabbed Coyote's thing.
I could almost actually say that,
I could start coming at you and be like, just because you're a little abused queer who fucking got raped as a kid, you want to come at me right now, motherfucker?
Whoa.
Just because your shit got fucked up when you were however fucking old, you want to fucking shit all over what I believe? Fuck you.
Whoa, let's calm down now. Let's calm down.
Like he's actually, he is shown in a far more meaningful way for me where a problem might be within juxtaposing virtuous and pedophile. But anyway, Leo, define virtue for me for a moment.
I already did earlier.
Could you do it again?
Having high moral value.
So having high moral value, or you can probably generalize it to acting upon what is morally consistent with your own collection of moral beliefs. So
Not really.
We're not going to give pedophiles the opportunity to act on their moral beliefs. That's just not happening.
So
here's the thing. Since you
can't let me finish this line of questioning, which I want to get to in order to be able to understand where Leo is coming from, I might be no longer willing to engage with you guys. Anyway, so we have recognized that a virtue is something which is of high moral value. Is it possible for an act then to be virtuous?
Depends on your moral value, doesn't it?
This is in a general sense. If an act is, we can say...
But we're not talking about a general thing.
High moral value. No, this is simply to establish what is considered virtuous.
And to see what is considered virtuous, we must first define what is moral, and as such, what is morality. So where is your morality from, Forledo?
This is getting into hair splitting.
No, this isn't getting into hair splitting. This is what happens when you have a broken foundation. You have to go all the way back to it.
You're derailing for a moment because what we're doing...
I'm trying to get a point across to you, and you don't seem to understand that.
Do I need to explain for a second how we're doing this algebraically in a sense?
I need you to answer the freaking question. That's what I need you to do.
Okay, say we have moral code A. Moral code A it has X, Y, and Z codes within it. An act is in accordance with X.
And
because
what
it is
the moral value
with
based on?
high moral value to A. Is
what's
that
it based on?
virtuous?
I'm asking you what the morality is based on.
Okay, we can say that that it has basis A. You know, it doesn't matter what the
No, actually, it absolutely does matter what it's based on.
standard is. What matters is that it is a moral standard, and the act is in accordance with that moral standard. Therefore, it is considered virtuous.
But first, you must decide what is a moral standard and who relegates that as a moral standard.
In a concrete sense, when you have a concrete moral value and you're trying to figure out whether a concrete act is virtuous, yes, it matters what the moral system is.
All
but
right.
this is a general abstraction.
I don't care about general abstractions, son. I care about the nitty gritty. No, answer my question.
We can now continue my line because we have determined that act is virtuous.
No, you have determined nothing because you won't answer my questions.
Oh my god, I'm overprepared.
No, you're underprepared. You're just too stupid to see that.
Farleto, you're acting very condescending right now.
Oh, he can act however he wants. I'm not the one with daddy issues.
I've recognized that, like, God. I can't.
I'm noticing you're dodging questions and you're interrupting people when they speak.
God.
And then you get upset when people interrupt you or don't let you finish or you can't get your point in, and yet you completely dodge everyone else's points when everyone is trying to say something.
Hold it. Let's set the table back to where you wanted it, Farleto. Let's go to where Coyote Lovely asked this question. That's since you didn't want to answer the. Oh, and again, no, I understood that you weren't going to like the religious thing. That's fine, and you could have just said I abstained from addressing the religious standpoint. But you went the extra mile. You went the extra mile and started stomping it, and I was like, "Look, I paid you the respect you wanted."
Okay.
And I specifically went. And I was like, "Cool, Coyote Lovely's a good guy. I'm gonna go with that. He's a furry. He's not gonna be a holy roller by any stretch of the imagination."
Okay.
And you decided to back up and
Coyote
stomp
Lovely.
Yeah.
Actually, put up what I can consider.
No, just answer the question. Stop making the side backhanded bullshit. Just get to the point.
Anyway, so essentially, I'll continue from what I was trying to do with Leo. So we have this moral system, and there's certain codes within it which are considered consistent with that morality. That individual acts upon that moral code and is thereby virtuous. A pedophile, as a human being, can still adopt a certain set of moral codes. One of those could be, don't diddle kids. Even though they might have those urges, they do not intend to have them. They are something which is simply innate within them, and they are unable to control it and have accepted that they cannot control it. However, they can still have a moral code which tells them, don't fuck kids and keep yourself accountable to that. If they are acting in accordance with that moral code, they are thereby virtuous.
May I say something, Farleto?
Take it.
Yeah. I remember earlier you were saying that we were trying to say that pedophiles don't have the capacity to understand consent, and what we were trying to say about pedophiles and why they behave the way they do when it comes to why does consent go out the window when it comes to children rather than adults is because they know they have the power over a child and will use it. And I've not met one pedophile who hasn't wanted to act upon their urges. The reason is may I finish? May I please?
You did actually bring this up already, though. Buttons were kind of running in circles with your point.
All right. Another thing I don't know. It's just there's the sheer volume of amount of people, though. The sheer volume makes it hard to believe, I guess, that there would be someone out there who wouldn't act on it.
You have your personal experience. Do you have statistics to reflect your personal views?
Well, do you?
If I may, Patrick did say that they knew. No, again, I'm highly skeptical, not because I hate Patch, just because. Patch said that they knew some people who were getting help, but they no longer have desire for children anymore. So I suppose at least there are other people who inherently. Patch seems also highly critical of a lot of things that are coming out of your mouth right now. Farleto.
I mean, it's I mean, an individual who's a pedophile, some people aren't able to, lose those attractions. It's very much more a psychological thing than, say, a choice.
We put them on an island where they can't hurt anybody.
Or jail.
Well,
Now,
yeah.
Let me go back. Let me go back and
dramatically reduce it to that and just, throw everyone there no matter how hard they'll suffer, and
don't worry, we'll throw you there.
But yeah,
why do you defend them so bad? Holy shit!
We'll throw you there too for later. But let me get back to something here. Let me explain to you something about virtuousness that you seem to not understand it. Now, even if I were to ignore the fact that you didn't answer my questions, and I'm going to do that just for you, buddy, there's a lot of things you're missing here. It does not make you virtuous to uphold a specific moral code. It makes you virtuous to uphold a high moral code. A man is not virtuous because he doesn't run over people on his way to work. A man is virtuous when he upholds a higher standard of a moral code. That's the reason why the synonyms for virtuous are things like righteous, ethical, upright, upstanding, high-minded, right-minded, right-thinking, and nothing about pedophiles that you yourself have even mentioned here are any of these things.
A pedophile by perception of due to the fact of their heinous wanton acts throughout history are by association the opposite of virtuous.
And another synonym is incorruptible.
Well, the problem I have is just that this group is calling themselves virtuous just because they admit that they have a problem.
I mean, that's part of it, and they are also getting help. That's the part that people seem to be.
Well, how can someone get help
here.
if they? Well, how can someone get help if they don't admit to it though? If they don't want to.
I'm going to cut to the chase here.
I mean, they do. That's why they're in the program.
Hold on. Let me cut to the chase. Verlato, which one of your friends is a virtuous pedophile?
None of them, actually.
Then why are you defending these people specifically for this name?
That's actually a good question. Because
Maybe
I just ended up in this research, and it's not my fault that I kind of just know basics of it.
This isn't even basics. You're not even answering basic questions. Instead, you are getting up on a table and you're going on with so much sophistry that I'm starting to wonder if you're not Digibro in disguise.
You're literally just trying to speak in absolutes about religion. How am I supposed to take that seriously when I'm more
I literally just called you a sophist. There's nothing religious about that, big boy.
That's a Greek term.
But you also, your entire moral code as something
my
which
moral code.
My moral code absolutes with morality do not exist.
You think it doesn't. Good for you. You know what? One thing that is absolute about moral codes, you shouldn't diddle kids.
That isn't necessarily absolute. We know that it is something that is wrong because we know of the psychological capacity of children to consent is not sufficient in order to safely say that.
Psychological, physical, mental, you can go any direction you want on this. And I know you like to huff your own farts. I know you think you're smart, but you're really not. And that's what you're having a hard time grasping. I know you're used to being the big fish in a little pond, but you're not that smart. You're pathetic, and you're sad, and you're broken.
I wasn't going to go that far.
Broken. Because that one's actually fucking true.
Oh, I know it is. You made that very clear.
But I don't need some dude bro up in the fucking sky to tell me that diddling kids is wrong.
Instead, you get online and you defend a group of people that wants to diddle a bunch of kids and calls themselves virtuous because, God forbid, they don't get their fancy name that makes them feel better.
So you believe all pedophiles have intent when they have desires, even if those desires are uncontrollable?
Yes.
Yes.
You are incredibly smooth-brained.
You can say that all you want, but I'm the one with the functional lifestyle, and here you are arguing for pedophiles on the internet.
That's very hard to argue. Yeah, what do you mean, oh man? You look through. Remember when you said you're like, oh, in this heated atmosphere with all these other people and shit. Look through my goddamn chat right now. People like Cody Lovely, like fucking Patchwork Art. This isn't like some fucking fraternity of people doing like keg stands on their fucking chests right here. Most of these people that are disagreeing with you are fucking furries. Your people are thinking you're a moron right now. It's not
currently,
sinking in.
As much as I hate argumentum ad populum, currently you have a pagan and another atheist and a Christian all telling you you're screwed up.
Well, let me figure out one thing here. Is it possible to have a desire without having intent?
I don't believe so. No.
So let's try to split hairs further. Is it possible to have ideation without intent?
Ideation is it's the desire, if I'm correct.
It's like, say, if I'm to say suicidal ideation, it's like sort of like kind of a casual.
It's the formation of ideas or concepts. Oh my God, you're bad at this.
I'm sorry.
Not you, him.
Literally, ideation is the term which has been used by my psychologist for a while.
And yet it took you that long to mumble through a definition.
And on top of that, you told us your psychologist told you that it was bad to be gay, if I remembered from the other day.
Yeah, he said that last night.
This is not even particularly. Oh my lord.
Well, do you believe that your psychiatrist is valid or not?
Hang on. Let's try to break this down, though. You say that it is impossible to have a desire without intent.
That's
to act upon that desire.
As someone who, all right, since you brought up suicidal ideation,
this question.
Well, since you brought up
this question, Leo, you are saying that it is impossible to have a desire without the intent to act upon that desire. Do you have an explanation for that?
None that you would like to hear.
I don't give a shit whether I would like to hear it or not.
No, because last time you did, you threw a little hissy fit about it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I laughed about
You did. You totally did.
You started literally talking over everyone and screaming.
and that's called laughing at it. Anyway,
no, it's not called laughing at it. That's nervous laughter,
Can-
and you
can I
don't need to
ask
be
you
a
a question?
psychologist to see that.
I need to ask you a question for later. So if you're disagreeing that it's impossible to have intention without desires, and are you saying it's possible to have desires without intentions, or intentions without desires?
I wanted to read this one off for you, Leo Patchworkart. Actually, Leo, it's perfectly possible to have a desire without intent. They're called intrusive thoughts. They are a result of psychological illness.
There you go. Intrusive thoughts. Pedophilia can be a form of intrusive thought.
But
Quote
the thing...
Stratum.
But I wouldn't make an intrusive thought something associated with virtuous. You'd be virtuous in spite thereof, not because of.
Yeah, in fact, when you're in fact, if you have intrusive thoughts,
common sense.
Actually, Farleto, like since you wanted to bring up suicidal ideation, I mean,
that's an example. Anyway,
if virtuous pedophile were a self-aware joke,
the virtue is the rejection of the undesired thought.
May I try to please, Farleto, please? I'm trying to level with you, sort of, maybe not just. You brought up suicidal ideation as a part of intrusive thought, and suicidal ideation, sometimes the reason people have it is because they want the intent to kill themselves. So by definition, I mean, and intrusive thought, just because someone thinks, oh, I'm a horrible, intrusive thoughts are something that happen with mental illness, but it doesn't mean they can't be a good person. But if they're a pedophile, those intrusive thoughts are they want to hurt someone, or they want to destroy the innocence of a child and manipulate a child and dominate them and whatever you want to call it. That is the difference. It's intrusive thoughts.
So what if they don't want to, even though they have these intrusive thoughts?
Well, the intrusive thoughts are
they
the
make
desire
the choice
itself.
to get help and do something about it, Farleto.
Yeah.
When does it come to the hang on buttons? When does it come to the point? When does it come
to go get help?
When does it come to the point where someone loses the ability to choose? When they have an awareness that what they're doing, what they're thinking is wrong, and have the chance and choice to get help for it.
That's literally.
It doesn't make you a good or virtuous person to admit you have a problem. Okay? It just makes you a man with a problem.
Okay, and they choose to act in accordance with a system in which one of the mandates is that even if they have
that's
intrusive
not high
thoughts,
moral. That's just basic moral. It's not high moral. You're missing the high part.
It's just a simple fact that they have a recognition of right and wrong.
Imagine being such a sophist that you miss a basic keyword. Good Lord.
Well, I mean, I'm talking to a religious person about what's innately, philosophical. There's not really much room for me to talk in terms that you're going to like.
No.
Oh, no, Master, you dumb it down for my simple mind.
We're having.
Oh, hold on.
Hold
on. Stop.
You chopped it down. No.
Stop. Question for you, Farleto. How old are you?
20.
What are you doing in life right now?
currently I've got a job which I'm going to start doing full time. I'm going to be probably moving in with my step grandmother to assist her while she's recovering from her knee replacement, and I'm probably going to be changing majors and regrouping.
Do you still live with your parents?
That's inevitably where I am right now.
Do you have a driver's license?
It's in the works.
Do you have a significant other?
This is starting to get.
I'm asking you very direct questions, and I expect you to answer them.
I don't.
You're a good college boy. That should be easy for you. All right, then explain to me how, with this big brain that you think you have and all this philosophy you think you have under your belt, how in the world at age 20 was I doing better than you are?
I did turn to you the other day, Farlito. Do you not remember the other day when I said in the call, I was like, look, I expect in like 5 to 10 years,
let me talk this.
You'll look back at
I
this.
find it difficult for you to... Can you give me a measure of success which is predicated upon having a significant other?
That means your success. Hold on. That means your success. Hold on. Sorry, Patch. Hold on. That means you're significantly better and more equipped to find a life partner. That's the better.
How could it?
Practical application.
Also a level of serendipity within finding a partner.
Serendipity. Why don't we talk about bomb talk and fooling instead?
Are you talking about serendipity? That is such a fucking incel answer.
Look, I understand that I mess up your OODA loop all over the place here, and that's why you find me frustrating. It's not because I'm theological. It's because you're not used to somebody retorting in a way that you can't sit there and try to be a sophist about, but you're going to have to put on your big boy pants at some point, big boy, and maybe learn to answer people.
Here's the thing. You want me to say what I actually want to fucking say?
Go for it.
Yes.
You're full of shit for trying to say that because I don't have some significant other, because that's somehow by some, I guess I missed the part of the Bible where God said that if you don't have a boyfriend by 20, you're a fucking failure. I don't see how that's some success.
Of all the things I mentioned, that's what.
Be by 20.
Hold on.
Right.
We're getting somewhere here. Of all the things I mentioned, that's what sets you off. There's a reason for that. It's a weakness.
It became nonsensical.
It's not nonsensical, boy. What it is a measurement of your ability to pair bond, and you suck at it.
What's parabond?
Pair bonding is when two individuals form a psychological bond that has a mutual benefit psychological.
You can pretend to laugh because you're nervous and you're getting wrecked all you want to make you feel better.
Have you even read Locke?
Can we all stop talking over each other for 2 seconds?
Oh my God.
Carl, calm down.
Can we just like...
Pseudoscience for the fucking win.
Pseudo-intellectual.
Isn't pseudo.
Yeah, pseudo-intellectual is a
psychiatry.
Yeah, I'm calling you a pseudo-intellectual, you dumb cracker.
That coming from a religious person. That's fucking.
I'm not here playing intellectual. I'm playing religious guy. The point is, I can fill the part.
So you're basically just clutching pearls with your dogma. Then.
No, what I'm doing is telling you you're full of crap, and you're trying your best to try to big brain around it, but you're out of your depth. Put on your flow.
Your own dogma.
No, it's not my dogma. I don't follow a dogma.
Christianity is a dogma.
No, Christianity isn't a dogma.
Christianity is absolutely a dogma.
Let's let Patrick Hart talk.
Catholicism is a dogma. Christianity is not a dogma.
It is still built around dogmatic assertions.
Oh man, this is cute.
All right,
let's let Patrick Hart talk.
No, they're good. Look, take it, Patch.
God.
For Leto, capacity to pair bond is not pseudoscience. It's based around oxytocin bonding between individuals, something found between parent and child, something found between lovers and friends. It has neurochemical basis and hard data. So the fact that you have difficulty forming relationships is relevant in your, discussion of people's psychological health. I'd also like to point out a few things that multiple people have gotten wrong in this call. One, addiction does have a psychological basis. That's for step. There is a long history of people developing psychological addictions due to a lack of physical contact in childhood that causes difficulty in development. Second of all, pedophilia is treatable with medication. There are pills that you can take to lower your libido while you go through behavioral therapy to process through and overcome the urges. It is perfectly treatable, and people who choose to become predators instead of fighting their urges and getting treatment deserve to be ostracized because they actively make the choice not to fight unhealthy urges. It's the same. It's pedophilia is really no different from a personality disorder. It's a perfectly treatable condition that implies a capacity to cause harm, but it doesn't have to be that way forever. You can choose to get help. You can choose to be a functioning member of society instead of being a kid fucker or a serial killer. There is no reason for anyone who has that condition to not seek help other than potentially being ostracized for seeking psychiatry, but that's a result of the, lack of understanding people have for why folks go into therapy and get treatment. It's so much easier to just, instead of fighting for pedo rights like you've been doing this whole call, fight for something a little more beneficial, like the normalization of seeking psychiatric treatment. You fucking dildo.
That's exactly what I'm trying to argue for, though. The normalization of these people getting fucking treatment. Holy shit.
If that's what you're arguing for, then you have failed,
bad
idiot.
at it. You are inarticulate and incompetent beyond all human comprehension. This is an argument I've been trying to support for years, and you make it sound like a bunch of pedo lovers.
Hold it. Farledo, Fido, you know what? It is possible that we got you going, and you weren't able to put the brakes on. I will eat some of the ability that Farledo got fired up way too bad by some pot shots. I do this as a friend.
I mean, aside from the fact that you got highly emotional there, and I get that you have strong feelings. Oh,
Look, at the same time
I
was trying to fucking set the table for you. I was trying to work around religion for you, and you decided to step down there, and I was like, boy, you need to shut the fuck up. I'm like,
no, this
when I give respect, I want it back.
This attempt at a superiority complex, does that come from your dad hitting you too many times?
I was never actually physically abused as a child, if that's really what you're trying to go for.
No, what I'm trying to get at is that it's undeserved. A little boy in his 20s who isn't even out in the real world yet wants to sit here and pretend like he's smarter than people in this call that have.
I'm only 3 years older than you.
I mean, you're literally arguing a non-Jesus perspective.
I own my own business. I live with my partner, and I help take care of my elderly father-in-law.
Okay.
And I'm on my way to becoming a member of city council.
Okay, again.
So you have better material conditions and better psychological condition than I do.
Hold on. It's not always material conditions, son. Sometimes it's about guts.
Yeah, Farledo, sometimes it's about practical application, and you kept talking about ideally and shit like that. We're talking about shit that works.
Victory is not handed to you, you take it, and here you are floundering.
I promise you I'm not in better psychological condition than you, because I'm an unmedicated schizophrenic. I manage my mental illnesses through sheer willpower and use of cannabis. I make home remedies to treat my illnesses, because that's all I can afford.
That still is... Yeah, and that's still to some degree more than being entirely unmedicated. That's still finding some chemical means to mitigate it.
I give you credit for not snorting there. I was waiting for it.
Yes, so, I do have a form of
and mind you, you're also in a place where cannabis is legal, where I'm not.
Never stops any of my Texas friends. What you doing, big boy?
Yeah, back when I lived in Ohio,
I don't want to be addicted, thank you very much.
No, that's
that's because you're also a pussy, and that's part of it.
Well, I don't intend to lose the roof over my head, thank you very fucking much.
Maybe if you got a job and stopped being worthless, that would help.
Okay,
guys, I have a job. It's in an hour.
I'm sure it is. Go back to Walmart.
Okay, everyone, let's calm down.
If you really want to go there.
At the airport, so you're one of the incompetent idiots who can't keep everybody in line.
Jesus
Lord Almighty. You're just a collection of every single wisecrack to give when someone gives an answer which isn't up to your, standards, aren't you?
I actually went to
Hot kettle black.
I went to get another drink and I had one in my hand already.
I mean, the difference is that I'm at least going from a secular basis instead of going to Cloud Guy for my answers.
Oh, you faggot
Actually,
nigger.
in this case, I'm not even doing that. I'm just making fun of you out of common sense, big boy. I'm sorry you're too stupid to tell the difference.
Well, common sense is usually at odds with.
Someone having theocratic
scientific
morals doesn't make them
anything.
less.
Yeah,
than
I get
hold
it.
on.
I
I wanna
understand
hear-
that.
I wanna
Once upon a time ago, some fucking religious individual said something bad that hurt his gay feelings, so he feels like he could shit on religion for the rest of his life. Fuck you, Farleto. You fucking.
I'm sorry for not.
Oh my god. Farleto, someone being theocratic in.
Did you just literally call me that?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Farleto, just because someone has religious views doesn't mean they're. Just because someone has religious views doesn't mean they're not smart. That's a big insult.
If you're gonna just drop the N-word on me, you've shown who you are.
I mean, personally, I think it's hilarious that you
How long
talk
have
bad
you
about.
known
Hold on,
Anthony?
Yeah,
hold
no
on.
shit.
I think
Oh,
it's
good, he
hilarious.
left.
I think
Fuck
it's
him.
hilarious. Oh dang it! But I think it's hilarious that he talks bad about religious people when some of the greatest philosophers have been religious.
We were doing it the other damn day, and he's like, "Oh no, he just wanted it out. Fuck him."
That's fine.
Wow.
Let him go play in the backyard with the rest of his intellectual peers, like the little soccer.
It was all my fault. I take full responsibility.
I feel physically like unstable. I feel
Yeah,
like
you
my
know what?
appetite
I'll
is starting
admit
to
it. I probably
separate.
You pissed me off, too.
I pushed it a couple times, and I probably should have ended the stream earlier. And I saw Hateful doing it. I was like, let's poke a little bit. I saw it going in the toilet.
I didn't mind getting to the discussion after the stream. I wouldn't minded.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is great.
No.
But Leo, intrusive thoughts are like a thing proven by neuroscience. I could explain to you how they work later.
Well, let me ask you a question about that, Patch. I mean, it still comes from. It might not be a thought that you generate, but it's still.
Okay.
It's still.
Let me
it's
explain
still a thought
how
generated.
intrusive thoughts work. Sometimes the brain has to process through certain potential scenarios in order to figure out how naturally it should react. Do you ever stand on the edge of a cliff or on the edge of a building and have this sudden overwhelming urge to jump, or while you're driving have the urge to turn into a tree, or sometimes think about stabbing somebody?
Well, is it kind of like flinching or something? Is that kind of like a more example like that?
No, not.
You think that someone's gonna
These
punch
are
you?
actual examples of intrusive
Okay.
thoughts. It's called the call to the void in philosophy. It's the human brain's innate need to process through certain scenarios, and your natural reaction to your brain having those thoughts is how you really feel about it. So when I have suicide ideation and my first react to, you should probably go drink a whole bottle of bleach, being, no, that would be a terrible idea. That's terrible. Let's actually focus on the real problem. That's my brain actually responding to the scenario that my subconscious was giving me. Intrusive thoughts are your brain's processing. Now, if you're mentally ill, your intrusive thoughts can sometimes be so overwhelming that it causes you to go into overload and sometimes act on them.
Yeah.
That is purely based off of a wiring problem in the brain, a literal wiring problem, because your neurotransmitters are misaligned. They are not built properly. Someone acting on intrusive thoughts does have the capacity to seek help and overcome them. There are medications you can take to fix the neurotransmitter problem. There are surgeries. There are forms of behavioral therapy that can overcome them. But the point is, intrusive thoughts are desires that exist without intent. Your brain doesn't want to actually shove that person over the
I'll read it off
fucking
here.
side of
Here
the
you go, bro. Get good alcohol. Lol.
Okay, so here's my question: what if my intrusive thought is to take Jerusalem?
Amen.
Well, that's an intrusive thought. What is your immediate reaction to your brain telling you to take over Jerusalem?
Ave Maria! This what?
No, seriously, if your intrusive thought is to commit a war crime, what is you as Thomas? What is Thomas's reaction to say like a stranger suggesting, "Hey, you should take over a country and commit small war crimes"? What would you tell that person?
With what army, first and foremost?
Intrusive thoughts are
You
usually
don't need
like
an army when you're the blood god, Leo.
intrusive thoughts are a lot like panic attacks, suicidal ideation, thoughts of self-harm, wanting to harm others.
Panic attacks aren't intrusive thoughts. They're a physiological reaction to mental health problems.
Okay, real quick here. Alex, why are you even still here? I thought you screamed out of this call. Why are you still here, boy?
He hit me up on Skype afterwards, and
Oh.
I said, "No, you left the call and blocked me.
Super
Goodbye."
chat. I don't drink one for me. Holy cow! Yeah, that was really unbelievably bad. Sitting there going, God, I need a drink. Oh, I already have one in my hand, and I just go back to listening to the call. Wow, I need a drink. It's still there.
Yeah, I wish I could.
I don't think you like that drink, Anthony. I think you need to get a different one.
I called this from the start. Like the second, you remember when you posted that article about this con deleting tweets, calling out how, hey, this con's harboring a pedophile, and I jokingly said these people are fearmongers, Anthony, and Farlater responded with this unironically, TBH, and
I said to him at the beginning of this discussion, I was like, there's ways of presenting this, and if you want to present, like, you know, like let's say a harmfully, potentially dangerous idea, maybe present it more as, like, you know, an abstract or a maybe or some shit like that. But the way he talked about it, when everyone tried to correct him, you guys are all idiots, is how it came off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was so condescending. I hated it.
Pseudo-intellectuals do that all the time. That's because they're armchair intellectuals. This is what they always do.
What's a pseudo-intellectual?
It was an armchair intellectual.
Fake
He
intellectual.
was actually trying to argue for normalization of psychological treatment. He was very bad at it.
Uber.
Oh, yeah, no
I've never
doubt.
seen
Super
someone
chat here. 1 sec.
like botch an argument so badly.
Drinking ice cream, you'll have better memories of the shake than this stream. Maybe. Well, I liked it at first, and I know hateful isn't bad. I didn't really want to come down on this. I was hoping that we would find a way to have that discussion where he would be smart enough to, you know, have a measured response. But $10 for
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't mind having a controversial discussion, but I didn't want to have him, you know, get to that fucking level. You know, I wanted him to go. Maybe I need to go back and work on what I'm saying. You know.
And then him
Right.
bringing up
What set me off,
pedophiles,
Anthony,
which,
was.
like, Anthony, do you remember earlier this year or last year, that group of people on DA, the No Map group, where it's a group of people trying to encourage each other to seek help instead of, like, preying on kids?
Yeah.
Virtuous Pedophiles is just that, but bigger, and it has no real backing by the APA. It's literally just a 12-step program for pedos, and it's heavily scrutinized by psychiatric professionals because they don't have any professionals on staff to help the people actually get.
Isn't there only like a 5% success rate with 12-step programs?
Generally,
it's increasing to around 7, but yeah.
Yeah, no, my source was Penn and Teller, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But
What's Penn and Teller?
They had a series called Bullshit. They're two comedians. I'm somewhat skeptical, but it's the best source I had, so yeah. I was like, yeah, this sounds like it's probably true. 12 steps seems like it's hokey nonsense. Better than nothing, I suppose. And you know what? If you aren't doing anything, I encourage you to do something, almost always, so. But I wouldn't look at any group calling themselves as virtuous pedophiles to be the right answer in any circumstance. It sounds like hokey nonsense.
No.
Yeah, their group is heavily scrutinized by psychological professionals, and for good reason. It's just
gee, I wonder why.
Oh, since we got here, Patch, did Discord ever release that transparency report?
No. Discord
Fantastic.
did not ever release that transparency report, which I'm still mad about, because I want to do a follow-up video on the fucking... God.
Before you do, I can touch up the audio and hit it with a normalize, because when you did the one with Nick Monroe, it's really quiet. Like, anybody here can do... Hateful would be able to do it. Leo would be able to probably... It doesn't take that much to boost the audio a little bit.
Yeah,
I can hear Patch just fine.
Editing
No, I mean, like,
problems
if you go back and listen to the Nick Monroe, it's, like, super quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's because it's a live stream. It's not pre-recorded like I wanted. He insisted on doing a live stream.
Okay, no, I get you, too. I guess you have to screw with the OBS or some shit. Oh, what's this? $5. I'd send money, but I wouldn't want to encourage you alcoholic urges. Wait, oh, lol. I don't drink that much, or have I?
No, you haven't drank a lot recently. You've actually been getting better with how often you drink. I do notice. I'm proud of you.
It's been a bit more stress because some of the things in call.
Nah, I get it, man. But hey,
again, normally I remember Farlato being super chill when we were going after all the...
He's still in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, with all the bestiality people, he was fucking, especially with the Peppermint Coyote thing, he was fucking, what's the term when you can't get rid of somebody? Indispensable. Yeah, he was fucking indispensable in those days, Jesus. And I like to remember when people do good shit. I like to remember the good times. And I'd like to believe that when he gets his head together and maybe when his grades stop failing, maybe he stops blaming religion. I mean, he doesn't have to like it.
Yeah, like that's
wait,
what
hold
got
on.
me is
Hold on. This super smarter than everybody guy has failing grades.
Oh yeah, he's sinking
Yes.
the toilet right now. Look, I know what it's like to
What's
fucking.
his major? That's my question.
That's a
What's
good
his
question.
major?
it's a I
You
remember
want to know
him
what his
saying
major
last
is? His
night
major
that-
is malfunction.
No, I remember him saying last night it had to do with business and something about like product placement or something. It had to do with products and business. Something like consumers. I know it had to do with that. But
Oh my god. No wonder he doesn't have any comprehension of how to read data in a psychological report.
I think what's funny is he's bitching at Anthony for saying the N-word and being like, "Oh, that's so horrible of you." It's like you were the one who was shit talking religion, dude. You were the one that.
It just hit
I mean,
me.
that doesn't.
I do have
No,
one
I
question,
get it.
though.
I was. You know what I said it. Whatever. Fucking. He's a major in business, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I guess that explains why he hates capitalism so damn much. Bitches about it constantly.
I did want to ask a question,
Maybe he
though.
needs a new major. Yeah, he's young enough. 20. Yeah, go restart over, Farlito. It's
like
okay.
why can't he do something else? Maybe he's flunking because he just doesn't like the subject. I mean, when I was in high school,
Tried changing majors at a major university. It is a pain in the ass.
I've not been to college
It
yet.
is
I'm
a
going to
pain in
start
the
this
ass.
fall.
I mean, I have my own theories. My theory is usually when little boy in big pond or small pond gets in bigger pond and finds out he's not as special, it's kind of nerve-wracking. I think he hopped into his major thinking he'd do well because he thinks he's smart. And now he's getting bodied. And now he wants
I
it.
did notice that basically when you'd make a point and everybody got quiet, he was sitting there screaming to try and fucking find a way to discredit you as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like everybody said, "Yeah, get him, Leo." Just we sat there and let it fucking sink in.
I hated
Well,
like
it's
every
he
time.
He says you're making an appeal of absolutes, and I'm like, Farleto, I feel like you're making absolutes here too. I don't
Only
see how
a Sith
you're
deals
in
in absolutes.
I think what pissed me off is that when we would have a point or something to say, he would immediately like cut us off while we were talking, but get pissy when we wouldn't let him finish,
I
or
mean,
he would
you all
yell
were doing
over
that.
us.
Every single one of you were doing that.
Well, yeah, but he did that
Yeah.
last night too. Like it was just me, him, and Brony Spectre on the call, and maybe
Well,
Pastel
he
Pro.
did even say, like, if we do this now, we're going to be screaming over each other, and I remember him saying that during work, and I did say back to him, and I was like, well, originally I was like, look, Farlito, if you really believe in any of this shit you'll say, and I started to give him tips on how to neuter it, and he's like, I don't want to do that. I was like, well, if you really, really are, then you'll come in for a stream, and then I spent, like, the next half hour explaining why that was a terrible idea. He took my advice, and I saw Hateful in the chat poking him, and I was like, I couldn't resist. I'm as much a douche as Hateful is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was like,
when I left, I was under the impression that he wasn't going to do this on stream.
He's going through some shit right now. If someone's swirling the ground emotionally, they'll fucking go along and take their mind off of. I'd do anything to fucking not think about
I
failing.
just wanted to know why he was making an argument about the whole con situation in general. It seemed pretty cut and dry to me.
Yeah.
Wait, which con?
It's
Is it that furry con that's
yeah.
listing a known predator?
Yes.
Yeah.
Biggest little fur con was Growly the Growler.
God.
His argument last night was, oh well, what if you don't know they have the intent to hurt a child? Why should
They
you
are a
be allowed to?
convicted predator.
You're omitting.
Here's where I draw the line there. Is if someone has a history of abuse, I don't care what their intent is, if they go to a public event, especially a convention or a pride festival of any kind, then they should be banned from the premises because they pose.
Here's the best thing. Here's the best thing about that.
We're omitting one of the things he said. He was basically stating, look, they're watching him, that's all they can really do. And I was like, I understand that they painted themselves into a corner, but they never should have fucking said yes in the first place, no matter how much money he was paying. It just
Here's the best thing about that patch. The panel he was going to attend was labeled all ages.
No.
Okay, yeah, no.
What do you mean no?
No,
No, I'm not.
How about,
Pat's got it.
It was absolutely
all
labeled all ages.
No, we got what you're saying. We're saying no, that's unacceptable.
Okay.
Here's the other problem though. If he had a panel that was 18 only, but there wasn't anything 18 in it, which I guess they would have had to sit down with him and, hey, we need you to fucking do this. People would have asked questions, and that's why they were fucking trimming their Twitter to fucking hide that too. When anyone asked about him after their initial statement, which give them credit, at least they addressed it poorly, but at least they addressed it. They just covered it up after that.
Well, it's like, here's the question I want to know, Anthony, is like the guy who was trying to get these people to host these panels for these cons, like, did they even do any research into like their history or whatever? Because if that's the case, then I'd say fire that guy.
Did anyone else notice that Farleto's typing in a chat instead of actually getting back in
Yeah, he's like responding to what we're saying in stream in the chat, and he's
I'm not even paying attention to the stream.
No, he's talking. No, he's responding to what he's watching the stream and listening to us and responding in chat instead of going in the call.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you have an over-emotional response to things.
Sure.
I get that too, and I don't mean it in a mean way. Like Leo, I understand why Leo does it. See, that's why I said all that ignorant shit to fucking goddamn Farleto. I could say it and get it off my chest and not bottle it up.
Yeah.
I'll call him the N-word and I'll be
Not
okay.
being in the call is only cowardice based on some flimsy ideals.
Flimsy ideals. Well, he would know about those.
You were taking it very seriously, Farleto. Tell me you weren't.
We were taking it seriously.
One person doesn't take people who molest children seriously.
I think what pisses me off is he kept trying to use the card of, oh, well, I'm a victim of rape and I'm a victim of pedophilia, so I have a better stance than you. I'm like, hey, Farleto, I am too.
I think they were going,
And that doesn't
because
get you
you kind of do that too, Buttons.
Yeah, yeah.
You being a victim doesn't necessarily win that argument. Mm-hmm.
I believe statistics over.
Yeah, like I was trying. Yeah,
I do like first-hand knowledge. I do, but you know, at the same time,
I prefer statistics.
You are a statistic.
There's a difference in like using something like anecdotal, like inexperience, but there's another just say, oh, well, your opinion doesn't matter because of this. Like,
is everybody else hearing that?
Hearing what?
I'm hearing a Skype call coming through.
Is someone calling you?
I don't hear anything.
Is someone calling you, Leo? Take a look. We're in a Skype call.
It doesn't look like it on the main page. What the heck?
Maybe
Try leaving the call and coming back in.
Yeah, I think it's you, Leo.
Yeah, leave the call, come back in.
As much as I appreciate Leo showing up, because I haven't had him on in a while, I would have liked him under better circumstances than rip it apart for. I did a little bit.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, after Farleto was pissing me off, I was like, I
things.
sure would like to have
I
Leo come
always
in
like
here.
listening to Leo tear somebody apart.
Exactly.
It's a great way to
Leo,
end
if-
your Monday.
What was
Leo
his-
would be great.
Leo, if it still happens, I'd just close off the app and then just open it again if it happens again.
I think Draco was your best work.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was a fun stream.
Did you hear the second coming of the Draco call?
Yes,
Oh,
I have those
no.
on my channel.
Oh, while I'm in here, I have a question for you, FNDR.
Shoot.
I recently released an article on this, and I want to get some people's perspective on it. There was a woman who, 32 years ago, murdered her 2-year-old son. He was heavily disabled and would have required a lot of care to take care of, but he was still out of the womb for 2 years and was a living person. And she poisoned him to death and refused to feed him or give him anything to drink for 3 days, and he died very slowly in an agonizing pain. Earlier this year, she released a book, which is now a bestseller, called I Offered Death to My Son, and has now become one of the most popular authors in France for making a book about how hard it was for her to kill her baby.
Why would
What is
she?
your opinion on
No.
that?
Did you just want a cheap shot at France? Because it's right there.
Oof.
I
get the meme.
let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. She murdered her child for 3 days with a torture and starvation, poisoning, and made a book about it, and that's being glorified 32 years later.
I would literally
She is a
rather that she.
best-selling author in Europe. She has
Oh.
sold, like,
How is she not arrested?
Is
How
she?
did she?
Oh, hold it. Is she in jail?
She was.
Is
No,
she
she's
dead?
not, and France refuses to convict her because the prescription for murder, which is like their period of time in which a murder case can be
I got a question.
convicted, it has passed.
I got a question.
It's so long that she
There's
can't
no okay.
be
Again,
convicted.
I think you gave me literally every. And I'll turn to the floor to step next. You literally gave me the grounds to take the cheap shot at France. There is no statute of limitations on murder. That's why when Looney said you're responsible for this Brony's death, I was like, well, you sit around and you sit on that information to the heat death of the universe, so that could follow me the rest of my life. There's no statute of limitations on murder, none, and that's the way it ought to be.
Well, apparently there's a statute of limitations in France on murder.
Well, I
because
think France is a piece of
the
crap.
French judicial
Right
system-
there.
Amen.
The French judicial
The only
system
thing that
uses
France is
conviction,
good
which
at
really
is
fucking
surrendering
stupid in
and
my
kissing.
opinion.
Yeah, I didn't think I could lose any more respect, but yeah, that's basically my thought there. That she did no
That's-
time.
When she
That's
She
I'm not-
admitted to murdering her
Hold on.
child.
I blame the nation that they were not able to address that in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to talk to this woman. Like, here's the whole thing. If she wrote that from prison and people bought the book, I've been like, you know what, I'm morbid. I might have read it. Oh, wait, she's out? No. No.
But she was never in.
Out? No, she was never in.
So she admitted to murdering her child and never got that's disturbing. That's disturbing
Yeah,
on
like,
every level.
If you
Now there's
see
one way you can get
and
around
you can
this.
watch the interviews that she's done. In them, she is completely like she's smiling and happy. There is no sign of guilt on this one.
Oh, that's oh, I got a chill.
Disturbing.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
I think I might need to take a trip to France sometime this summer.
Well, if she goes missing, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
My name's Bennett. I'm not in it.
Yep.
Some of her fans, she does have fans. Some of them are trying to justify it by saying that the child was near stillborn at birth and was forcibly resuscitated.
At
by the
worst.
Still doesn't
hospital.
excuse
No,
it.
hold it,
But
hold it.
didn't-
This is inexcusable what I'm about to suggest. At worst, at very worst, and this is terrible. This is absolutely abandon the child in front of a hospital. Somewhere will it get help. That is infinitely better than what the fuck you did. And that's even terrible.
Exactly.
She
That's what
murdered
I-
the child
that's
after
what I
2
said in
years
the
of
article.
birth.
I don't care that the child was forcibly resuscitated. Was that a terrible thing for the hospital to do? Absolutely, because forcibly resuscitating a near stillborn infant would cause them to be permanently paralyzed and mute for life because of the sheer brain damage that happens when a child is strangled by the umbilical cord in the womb. Forcibly resuscitating that child was a horrible thing to do, but that does not justify what this woman did to her baby.
That
Do they talk about her like she's a hero or some shit like that? Oh, she had the
Some
courage.
people do. They say that she committed a mercy killing, and that by killing her disabled son, she was.
Do you know what
doing right
they
by
call
him.
those kinds
And
of
it's
people,
so
Patch?
disgusting.
Do you know what they call those kinds of people, Patch?
A family annihilator?
Retarded.
Angels of death.
I'm fully
I've done
aware of what the Angels of Death and Martyr.
didn't we watch an episode of Law and Order on this topic with the doctor that kills his patient?
That's sort of a little different, but I know you're talking about. Let's not get into
Yeah.
that right now. Yeah.
I was just
And what sucks is this is disturbingly common. Disabled children are 75% more likely to be killed by parents and caregivers than by anyone else on the planet.
that's horrifying.
When you look at the statistics of disabled children who were murdered in the past 5 years, a terrifying amount of them were killed by their own parents. For example, that 7-year-old who was killed a couple years ago by his mother and stepfather by burning him alive in a garbage bag.
Oh my god.
There are a lot of horrible killings like this, and almost always the perpetrator is the parent.
There was someone from the beauty community on YouTube who ended up murdering their kids or some shit
what?
like that. I heard it from Tipster's channel. That was really
Fuck is a
screwed.
beauty
Yeah,
community?
I remember putting. I know it used to be in the cool kids room, which we're kind of in now.
Wasn't there that YouTube video of that woman adopting those children for YouTube and like torturing them because
well, that's way different. That's still horrible, but yeah, she didn't murder them. That one's in jail. Which, yeah, God bless
I
America.
also didn't write a book about it, Anthony.
Yeah,
Make
no
money
shit.
off of it.
Well, even in America, we've had people that have done terrible acts to write books, like Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, but he's in jail, or was. Is he dead now?
Well, yeah, he's dead now. So.
Yeah.
I
Fuck 'em.
can't
Where
even.
does the money from, like, criminals who write books in prison, where does the money go? Does it go to, like, their prison bank account?
I'm
Does it
told
go to
that
their
OJ's shit got garnished when he did it.
It usually goes either to their prison bank account or, in some cases, to their next of kin.
Possibly their canteen too, so they can actually buy like food and stuff like that.
That's what we were talking about, my dude.
Is that what a prison bank account is? I didn't know you could get money in prison.
Yeah, it's
Yes, you can.
effectively
Oh, yeah.
it's effectively for their canteen, so that they can buy certain things that they
That's how you-
ordinarily wouldn't have.
Thank you for joining us, Coyote.
Prison labor is actually a huge source of labor
What
in the
up?
modern capitalist economy. It's
Oh, you know, just sitting here getting super triggered, apparently. You know, my feelings are,
I heard
very...
things
yeah,
were
we're
getting
all
sporty.
having violent panic attacks. Don't you can't you tell by the terror in our voices?
Yeah.
Things were getting sporty earlier.
All you do, Leo, is moralize.
Clearly.
Moral paragon.
Leo, that was some like Jedi level stuff. Like you had me shaking, man. Like I would step to Jim before I ever step to Leo now. Holy shit.
Well, Jim might be in a good mood.
I would take a literal sucker punch to the sternum before I would ever try to piss off Leo Convoy. That's
Leo
been my
Convoy
stance
is
with this guy.
Leo Convoy is Batman with prep time.
You know,
it's like Spider-Man.
And here I thought that we were going to have to resort talking about the 16-year-old now, which I'm going to still omit the name until we get all the details on that shit.
Yeah.
I already gave you all the details, Anthony.
I thought we were waiting to get the rest of there was more logs. I remember friggin' Step mentioned that or some shit like that.
Is this who I think it is? I'm not going to say who.
16, 15-year-old with a 13-year-old. Yep. That's why we're going to hold off and be responsible.
14-year-old.
What's up, Blinky? Not to sound edgy, but humankind makes me sick. Makes me sick.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe fucking Leo's ideology. There is no faith in humanity. Humanity is horrible or corrupt.
Yeah, no.
I have a theory that humanity will wind up being its own great filter.
Hmm.
You know, years ago, I was a little kid, and I was reading stuff like Revelation. I always assumed that there was going to be some major catastrophe that's going to turn the world against each other. And I just realized as I got older, no, humans are just stupid. And we're bound to do it sooner or later due to our own ignorance.
I blame Tom. MySpace started all this.
I laughed when I was fucking, I think, a teenager or early adult when someone's like, one day that we'll prune off all our issues and we'll get together. I'm like, you're an idiot. Every time I found out more about a new group of people, I was like, oh, Muslims have their stuff together. They don't fight. I think they would have laughed at that.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello, Lesser Jihad.
And the Sunnis and the Shiites. I was like, oh, okay, now I got it now. Oh, they really are like everybody else. Okay, neat. I guess that's
it. Even in pagan faiths, we have these kinds of problems. I
didn't think there was enough.
Coven I've been to full of shitheads.
I had the theory that if the groups are small enough, they were together, and just the fact that mass numbers is what started the fighting, but apparently not.
Oh no, I've been in covens with like 5-6 people, and they're still full of jackasses, and there's infighting over. Oh, but I deserve to be the high priest. No, fuck you, Jim. Nobody likes you. Your cookies are terrible. Stop coming to the cookout.
That should be.
Nobody wants you here.
If you ever have a podcast with them, that's what you should title it. Your cookies are terrible. Fuck you, Jim.
Actually, while
Fuck
we're
you
here,
and your filthy cookies.
While we're here, Patch, I wanted to thank you for helping me with the Jasmine situation and everything. I know we've had our hurdles in the past, but I really do appreciate everything you've done.
Oh yeah, especially with some of the stuff that a certain tree lover has been saying about me recently. I felt like it was only right to clear the air about
Which
the
tree lover is that?
You know exactly who it is. He did a whole video making fun of her.
Arya?
No, the one, Dr. Wolf.
Oh, Dr. Wolf is giving you a hard time?
No, who do we make fun of at Dr. Wolf?
Oh, Brony Spector?
No, who did we make fun of?
Oh, Lily
Dr.
Pete.
Wolf?
Yes. I've been drinking.
My
Yeah,
forehead.
I've been drinking.
Oh,
I can feel the
I'd love to join that battlefield.
No one else seems to be defending me.
Well, you didn't. Well, most of the people, at least on Kiwi, seemed like they were indifferent, at least at the worst case scenario. So, yeah. I don't think you're a monster. I just thought that you were a poor artist, which, again, I've bought art off of many poor artists.
My art is my art, especially last year.
I think he means
good.
poor as in living condition, not poor as.
Lily, if you listen to this stream, can you please answer this question? Why did you ask for that art to be made in the first place?
Oh, I can tell you why. She told me it was to alleviate her dysphoria. Well,
I wanted to.
Why the dog?
I want to see if her answer changed, Patch. I wanted to see if there's any contradictions.
Wait, why would a
the
dog?
answer lately has been that it doesn't exist.
Why would a dog?
Patch would like to
alleviate-
pretend that a lot of things don't exist, like
I wanna-
anti-bronies.
The elephant art, that's the character that she commissioned having sex with the sentient wolf. That character doesn't even belong to Lily. That's Lizzie's Zosie.
What I want to know is how would a dog having sex with someone alleviate dysphoria of gender? That makes literally I can't even comprehend that. Is this another trans species person like the person on Twitter?
The thought of being wanted that much that someone would take her by force was something that made her feel wanted. But after the sexual assault last October, things seem to have changed.
Anthony, didn't you say something about Lily that he married or dated Lizzie when she was 17 or something like that?
No, that's from Farms. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, okay.
Which I'd also like to point out when they basically said she's pretty hot. I'm like, okay. You just made fun of him for fucking marrying a 17-year-old, and your response is, she's pretty hot. What does it say about you?
Yeah.
That whole situation has gotten out of control with her telling everybody I'm a drug addicted, abusive cow.
You're not drug addicted. Pot isn't even like technically a drug
I
because
do technically have a chemical dependency, but that's just because I need weed to be able to walk.
Well, I mean, point of order, weed is by all means technically a drug. It's not just a plant. There is some processing you must do to get the cannabis out.
True. Well,
yeah, and a lot of that today, like these days, a lot of it is grown in
flower that
chemicals.
you cut off of a leaf. There's no processing there.
Processing, you
Edibles,
still got to
however,
burn it. You still got to burn it.
Fair.
It does change
But
the chemical
you can also
compound.
cook it or make it into tea or.
Oh my god! I remember friends of mine once
inject it
tried.
into your butthole.
Friends of mine once tried to.
Wait,
make
don't
pot-
skip over that like you didn't just say that. What did you just say?
No, we heard it. Nope, no cuts, no cuts, no peanut butter cups. I don't want to hear it.
So years ago, friends
We'll
of mine
talk later.
Friends of mine decided to make weed brownies, pot brownies, and they don't know how to cook to begin with. It was terrible, and it was so fun to watch.
oh no.
What they did, they took the weed, right, and they put it in oil, and they mashed it around, and they drained it, and they used that.
How you make?
I know it's not.
Well,
I know it's not.
Oh God,
You're
why?
supposed to bake the weed before you put it in the butter to activate the THC, and then you're supposed to cook it in butter.
They didn't
then
even.
You're supposed to
They
strain
didn't.
it.
Patch. They didn't even put it in butter. They put it in oil.
No, I'm not looking to be that person who's a killjoy or some shit like this. And if you enjoy pot, God bless and keep you, Patch. But I remember Elf saying that you're supposed to. There's a way of just getting the THC without getting high that would be able to alleviate your pain. If you're having fun with pot, ignore everything.
Oh no, what Elf is thinking of is CBD, which is something that I do use to treat my nerve damage.
Yeah, I probably fucked it up. Not Elf.
Unfortunately, it doesn't do enough on its own for me to just move around.
Okay.
All it really does is make the laying in bed and crying a little less or a little less agonizing. Like, I'm able to exist without crying when I use CBD, but the THC gives me enough, like, alleviation of pain to actually get around.
I was picturing that in a commercial suddenly.
Just like
Exist without crying with
just me
CBD.
sobbing in bed. Do you have problems getting around your home due to crippling nerve damage? Try weed. Weed. It'll solve all your life's problems.
Goddamn.
Lead on.
Really
Apply
does.
directly to the arthritis.
And all this time, I'm sitting here freaking drawing a Gundam. Good lord.
But yeah, no, Leo was right when I said poor artist. I meant like as in poor financially. I wasn't making a critique.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
Leo, you've got your priorities in order, man.
I know I do. I'm trying to catch up on Mecha May. It's very hard. I am 9 days behind.
I do wonder where she got the idea that I spent all 10K of that fundraiser on cannabis.
Well, we were
when-
joking. No one really thought that anyone spent $10,000.
No, she does think that. She actually does think that.
$10,000 a week. I don't
Well,
even think that's possible.
I know some people that could make it possible.
It's very possible to spend that 10K on weed.
Sheldon
but
would
actually what
definitely
it
use
went
that
to
10K.
was multiple hospital visits.
If you gave DWK a year, he could go through 10K, maybe even half a year.
Do you know that you would have to smoke 3 times your body weight in cannabis in order to overdose?
Yeah, I've heard.
Really?
I've heard Joe Rogan talk about that.
I mean, if you're a pussy.
Yeah.
I haven't
Pussy bitch.
smoked. I haven't smoked it, but I've tried the cannabis extract. It's like a
But 3 times a button's body weight wouldn't be $10,000. Sorry.
It'd be what, $5?
Wow.
What is she, Polly Pocket?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the literal bar I use for my weight bench weighs more than buttons.
I could probably bench press buttons on my bum leg.
All right, everyone. I take
probably.
it back, Farlato. This really is the frat boy. We're talking about bench pressing buttons and shit. We're back,
I'm sorry, Buttons. I hope I didn't upset you.
Oh no, you didn't. I've come to terms. I was actually doing really good with my weight gain. I got like almost 100 pounds, and then I got really sick with some physical medical issues, and then I lost a lot of weight again. But I'm doing pretty okay right now. I'm actually have a job interview on Thursday. I'm excited for that. So, and I'm doing therapy. I have antidepressants and anxiety medication. I feel relatively good recently.
So is Far Lamo still crying in the chat?
Far Lamo.
Let me go check.
I miss
Got
being
him.
on live streams. Being on hiatus has sucked.
Fur Bitcho, get in the call, man.
Oh, and you're welcome, Busty or Busy Robot Hands for the Perceptors. No problem.
Busy! Hi, Busy! She's my friend. Or they. Sorry, I am so tired right now. Everything is they. I am sorry. Buttons is now wait for lifting, bro.
Buttons.exe has crashed. Would you like to send an error report?
Yes, send it immediately.
Too fucking bad. I crashed too.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm definitely sending an error report on you. I'm going to report you to the manager's manager.
Oh fuck, dude! Don't do that. Come on, man.
I do what I want.
Come on, be a bro. Be
I
a
am a bro. That's why I do things.
Your manager haircut? Oh my god.
I'm reporting all of y'all to the manager's manager's manager.
Oh no.
Don't ever talk to my son's son.
Well,
or my
I'm gonna
son's
report.
son. Did you never hear? Has no one here heard of Cheaton?
How many sons was that? How many kids?
Okay,
Did your...
so there's a magical. let me embark you on a magical journey. In Japan, there is a small town called Susaki, which has a mascot called Cheaton, which is
Oh
a.
no, not Cheaton. No.
You know where I'm going.
Oh, Buttons from Blinky Iris.
No.
Buttons is now a unit of weight.
Oh my god.
Yes, this is going to this weighs about 3.75 buttons.
Well, I mean, better a unit
Hey,
of weight
I
than a
found
unit
out
of
what the
overweight.
exact measurement of a metric fuck ton is.
Dude, really? How what is it? What is it, please? I'd like.
316,000 kilograms is a metric fuck ton.
Nice.
Can you type that down for me? I want to use that as a unit of measurement from now on.
How did you discover that? I'm kind of curious.
Apparently, it's a fuck ton was a measurement of booze on pirate ships back in the fucking day, and I was on one of my Wikipedia spiraling Google sessions that I do when I'm incredibly bored and way too stoned to function. And I saw this fucking graphic on a fucking Wikipedia article that had different size barrels and bottles and the terms pirates used to measure them. And apparently, over 316,000 kilograms of fucking whatever the fuck is a goddamn fuck ton.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Now I want to know what my weight is.
So
with
of
fuck
that
tons.
fuck ton, how much of it is rum?
Enough to satisfy a pirate, I'm
Yes.
sure.
You know what? None of it is rum because the rum is gone.
Lol.
Where all the rum
Anthony
go?
drank it all. Anthony drank all the rum.
Ah.
But why is the rum gone?
Good stream.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah.
stream. I guess we should hit stop then.